sports fans. All right, sports fans, here we go. Here come your Rebels. You know where the Raiders are. And the psychological games continue. Here comes the red team. Nothing but Westshore Rebels. There's your second place team. 1 point behind will be on his son. Keep it going, sports fans.
Good afternoon and welcome to West Hill Stadium in Langford, British Columbia. I'm Tyler McLaren, joined by Paul Short today. It's great, should be a fantastic day of football here in the beautiful island of British Columbia. The Raiders come in after a very spirited tie last week in Kelowna. The Rebels still on a bit of a home streak run. Continue that trend here tonight. Should be a fantastic game today. Paul, what do you expect from the game today between these two island rivals?
Well, it's kind of like they said, John Carlicka said in the paper today, you throw the ball in the middle of the field, just let the players get after it. It's that type of game. The Rebels are a feisty bunch right now because they're winning, they're defending champions, and the Rebels, who got beat the Raiders got beat last time by the Rebels for the first time in Nanaimo, are a little hungry to come down here and show the Rebels what they can do.
And huge playoff implications, obviously, with the tie for Nanaimo last week. That point enables them to potentially keep pace, potentially host a home playoff game north of the island. That has to play into consideration as well.
Absolutely. At the point this season's going, this game is very important from the standpoint for the Raiders. A loss this evening with the Rams win should possibly give the Rams third place in the standings, and a Raiders victory over the Rebels will open the door for the Sun to take first place, I would think, but then the Rebels would also be scrambling to hold on to second place.
So huge implications today. Another interesting point of contention between these teams and every team right now is bodies that are being added to the roster. The Rebels continue to add some bodies. The Raiders just add a receiver from the Winnipeg Rifles. That's obviously coming to a close, but both teams gearing up for hopefully what they hope is a long playoff run.
Yes, and last night was cutoff date for the CJFL as far as signing new players, and I think the teams got who they needed for that playoff run.
Exactly. So huge playoff implications today. We look forward to a great game, and obviously bitter rivalry between these two teams, mainly by geographics. How much of that do you think plays into the players, or is that something more people like us have in common, or do you think it's something that translates into the players and the coaches?
Well, it starts down from the coaches, obviously, and the coaches have a long history. Most of the coaches played from the beginning against each other in this rivalry, if you will, and it filters down to the players. The players will be the ones that are going to feel the brunt of the yelling and the screaming if something goes wrong. A little bit more feisty than it would be in a game against St. Valley or something like that.
Absolutely. We expect a big crowd here tonight. We welcome you to bcfctv.com. Sit back, relax, and we will have kickoff for you in a few moments.
God keep our land. Atlas presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, crystal clear video chats. Ah, I see you're catching up with your brother, Jerry. Ooh, yikes. Look at the quality of that video chat. Did you know the upload and download speeds of pure fiber make chats so clear it would be like your brothers in the same room? TELUS Pure Fiber. Video chats reimagined.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome back to beautiful West Hill Stadium in Langford, British Columbia. I'm Tyler McLaren, joined by Paul Short. Proud to have you with us on this broadcast today, powered by Remax. Should be a heck of a football game today, as both these island teams are pretty near the top of the BCFC standings. Paul, what do you expect from today's game between these two island rivals?
Well, it should be interesting. We've got the leading passing team in the league in the Raiders, and the second best defending team against the pass in the Rebels. We've got the Rebels are the stingiest against the run, and both Raiders and the Rebels, the top two runners back, Rhett Williams with the Raiders and Trey Campbell with the Rebels, are 1-2 in rushing in the league. So it should be a good football game based on the history of these two teams. This is the, if I remember correctly, the 27th time these two have played. And the Raiders, they won 23 straight up until last year when the Rebels beat them here, and then the Rebels went up to Nanaimo, beat the first game of the year, and eked out a 27-25 win with 17 fourth quarter points. So if the teams stay within their script and what they want to do, keep the emotions in check, it should be a really dandy football game.
The Rebels come into this game with a 5-1 record and currently sitting second in the BCFC standings. The Raiders, after an emotional win at the Apple Bowl last week in Kelowna, come in at 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. So a lot on the line for both these teams tonight. And hopefully for the Rebel side of things, I know penalties have been a problem in the past. Hopefully they can keep those in check tonight. I'm sure Coach Charlie Karlickia has preached to his team all week about that heading into this game.
Oh, absolutely. They have 120 penalties, which is 42 more than the next closest team with 78. So it's kind of like you're up against a team now that possibly can hurt you if you take a silly penalty, but so far the Rebels have that type of football team that aren't afraid to take those penalties because it hasn't hurt them yet.
Exactly. Well, the fans continue to file in here. Expected a very big crowd on a beautiful night here at West Hill Stadium. Crowd expected to be probably in the neighborhood of 1,250, maybe 1,500 from all indications. That has to play a role in getting the players amped up for a big football game.
Yeah, you betcha. This is when you play in front of a big crowd, and the rivalry where you're on the island, you don't have to get on the ferry. You can just drive the 80 minutes down from Nanaimo. They're going to probably bring a couple hundred fans with them. They're excited. You can bet they're excited. And
a night game under the lights is something new as well for the Rebels, as it doesn't happen that often here, as teams do have to hit the ferry and get back to the mainland or up into the interior. So that's something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, they're also going to be playing the Okanagan Sun in the last game of the year, the last home game after this one. I think it's October 9th, and that's another one that's going to be under the lights. And if they finish in the playoffs where they're going to host the Raiders again, that'll be a night game as well.
Absolutely. We're just about set here for kickoff. Looks like the Rebels will receive the opening kickoff. The Raiders will be kicking from our left to our right. The Rebels will be going from our right to our left, and we're just about set here for the opening kickoff. Thanks again for joining us here at West Hill Stadium on bcfctv.com, powered by Remax. Referees have set their places, and we're just about ready to rock here in a big football game.
I think we're waiting for the clock to roll down, so they'll reset it with 15 minutes.
Absolutely. While we have a second, just on the out-of-town scoreboard tonight at the BCFC, a final in Chilliwack has the Okanagan Sun improving to 6-0, beating the Valley Huskers by a score of 42-3. And in Langley at the half, the last score we had was 13-7 for the Langley Rams over the Kamloops Broncos. So we're underway. Kickoff is happening, and there it goes. Down to Stevenson around the 15-yard line. Cuts to his left. Tries to get the corner. Does. Gets a good block to get around the outside. Raiders collide on him and gang tackled right in front inside their own 35-yard line. Decent return by the Rebels to start the game off.
Yeah, you got a nice block on the edge a little bit there. It might have been a hold if you get picky on it. It could have been called a holding, but it gave him the edge to pick up an extra 15 yards.
First and 10 on the 36-yard line.
So the Rebels will start in their familiar red. The Raiders will be in their whites with the black helmets and the red accent colors. Rebels will be first and 10 on their own 30, about 6-yard line or so. Starting quarterback will be, as usual, Scott Borden for the Rebels. Trey Campbell directly behind him. 3 receivers to his left. Play action pass. Borden drops back. Pressure coming. Throws the ball deep down the middle of the field. Good coverage. Ball is intercepted by number 6 by the VI Raiders on the first play. Sean Arabaski. Big start for the Raiders defense.
Well, Arabaski, number 6, got as deep as the deepest receiver, what you're told to do when you're playing the safety position, and he didn't let him get behind on the ball, had a little bit of air underneath it, but his leaping ability, he got really high to bring that one down, and lucky to survive the contact with the ground to give the Raiders the first down.
I like the call for the Rebels, going for a big play on the first play of the game, trying to get something going right off the bat, and the Raiders sniffed it out and had great coverage with 2 defenders right there.
Well, I'm sure both coaches were on either side are saying, be aware of that first play from scrimmage. It could be a big one. You can see there where number 6 jumped up, and he got some great air to get that ball, but the big part of it was surviving the contact with the field.
So first and 10 Raiders on their own 30. LeBerge in the shotgun. Drops back, throws the ball down the middle of the field, looking for Bryson Mayo as well. Knocked away very nicely by number 3 for the Westshore Rebels, Brandon Gandry. Both teams taking an early shot to no avail.
Yeah, both are mirroring each other there, and Gandry just made a great play. He was on hip to hip with Mayo and was able to get his hand up and bat the ball away.
Good first start, quick action here at West Hills. Both teams taking a shot. Both teams looking for a big play to start the game off, throwing the ball down the field, but to no avail, and we still are scoreless here, just over a minute into the first quarter. Raiders second and 10 on their own 32-yard line. LeBerge barks the signals, now on the shotgun. Drops back, quick throw, flags are on the play. LeBerge scrambles to his right, throws back to his left. The pass is complete. Should be close enough for a first down, pending the penalty, as the pass was complete to number 81 on the play. That was Adam Finnick, but we'll wait to see what the flag is. It is offside against the Raiders, so I'm guessing the Rebels will take that penalty and push the Raiders back to 2nd and 15.
Yeah, I think that's a good call by the coaching staff to push them back, because that would have left them in a 3rd down and about a yard to go, but I think you put him in the 2nd and 15, and that brings up with a little bit better area if there's an incomplete pass or yards not gained from the punting situation.
So the first penalty of the game goes against the Raiders. They will scrimmage 2nd and 15 on their own about 26-yard line. Passing situation here for the Raiders. LeBerge in at quarterback. Rhett Williams stands beside him to his left. 3 receivers also to his left. Fake handoff. LeBerge rolls to his left. Does get the corner. Throws the ball on the run. Ball is incomplete on the play. Looking for what might have been North Rainey on the far side of the field, but the Rebels had good coverage on the play.
That was very good coverage, and a lot of pressure coming from the Rebels' left side forced LeBerge out of the pocket, and as he's making the run, it's difficult to throw across your body as a right-hander to make that type of completion rolling to your left.
So the defenses hold. The Raiders couldn't capitalize on the interception on the first play of the game by the Rebels. It will be 3rd and 15, and the Raiders will be in a punting situation. Number 37, Hunchek with the punt. Good punt right down the middle of the field. drives the Rebel receiver back to his own 50, cuts to his right, dangles around, and the Raiders converge right on him, knocked down about his own 50-yard line, flags all over the field.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few illegal blocks there.
That was Yitna on the return for the Rebels there.
Yeah, he had about a 6-yard return before number 79, Doyle Westland, came in to make the tackle. But there's a lot of bodies being bounced around, a lot of collisions happening.
Sure, the referees, as they sort this out, will probably try and make a statement early and just kind of say to the guys, you know what, we're going to call this pretty tight and keep it under control and have a good football game.
Yeah, I think the coaches are probably saying stuff on the bench right now, and obviously before the game. You don't want to take a silly penalty that's going to hurt us early and that's going to take our ability to climb back into the game out.
Wait for the call here.
I saw the call against the Rebels. Here we go. I saw it against the Rebels, but
was against the Rebels. Might be an illegal substitution, perhaps. Wait for the call here.
Yeah, too many men.
Penalty, too many men will be against the Rebels. So they will keep the ball, but it will be moved 10 yards back, and they will scrimmage 1st and 10 on about their own 39-yard line.
Well, this is where you got the leading rusher in the league. You're the leading rushing team in the league. I think it's time to put the ball on the ground and try to establish the offensive line of scrimmage before you start throwing the ball, in my opinion.
Special teams coordinator John Karlicki probably won't like that penalty on his group. So the Rebel scrimmage, Borden turns, quick throw to his right, complete. He has a man, dragged down after about a 10-yard gain. Just going to wait to see if we can see who that is. It looks like number 23. Was that Nate Skeet?
Nate Skeet, yes.
Good little quick pass there by Borden to Skeet for a gain of about 11 on the play.
Yeah, it was a good first down, and just a little hook, just jump in front of the number 20, I think it's 29 on the Raiders, Jeremy Chang. Just jump in front of him, make the reception.
First and 10 Rebels, handoff right up the middle to number 25 on the play. Breaks a quick tackle there, but is brought down. Good coverage, or good flow by the Raider defense there. That was number 25, I believe, Brad Innes, if I'm not mistaken.
Quentin Bowles, number 99, ended up making the tackle. But not before, a good little gain of 3 yards. That puts you in a good position to either a little draw or a little bit of success. Throwing the Skeet. Skeet seems to be open in every game.
So 2nd and 7 Rebels on their own 53-yard line. Borden in the shotgun, drops back, quick throw, nothing there. Rolls to his left, looking for a receiver, looking down the field. Out of bounds. Ball was caught by Deshaun Greenaway. He was out of bounds, but I think there might be a late hit penalty on the play against the Raider defense.
Yeah, I think that was roughing the passer for sure.
Roughing the passer is the call against the Raiders.
Yeah, against number 94, Mason Kelly. Unnecessary. The ball was gone, and he just put a little bit extra push at the end of the play there to knock him out of bounds.
Again, not a good penalty that Coach Hawking will be happy with, but again, the players just settling in. Bob Borden ran the option, but didn't really need Trey Campbell on that one.
Yeah, it was a very nice fake. He faked it to Innes and then just kept it, and he had Campbell on the option call, but the corner jumped off with the receiver, gave him lots and lots of room to turn the corner. There's nobody there to force him inside or force him to take the pitch.
Rebels trying to push the play here, line up on the ball right away. 1st and 10 on the Raider. It looks to be about the 21-yard line. Play whistled down. Might not have been set on the play as we don't see any flags on the field.
Yeah, I don't think it was blown in. So
Rebels tried to do this last week against Kamloops, just try and get the hurry up, get the tempo going, and get the offense moving and getting some rhythm.
Well, it keeps everybody. You're on your heels already because you've just done a lot of running, so you might as well jump at it right away and catch them napping.
So now they will approach the line here. 1st and 10 on the Raider 20, looks to be about the 21-yard line. Borden in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Innes flank to his right as well. Drops back, throws the ball, looking in the end zone for Greenaway. He's got him, touchdown. No, it's incomplete on the play. The Raider defender stayed right with him and knocked the ball away from Deshaun Greenaway, or at least lodged it loose, and the ball falls incomplete.
Well, Borden put it where he had to put it, up nice and high for Greenaway for his leaping abilities. But again, once you make the catch, you got to survive the contact with the ground. And on this one, definitely Greenaway didn't survive that contact with the ground. It was a great catch, but as he came down, the ball just drops out.
Good play by Alex Eberlito there. Just didn't give up on the play, even though Deshaun Greenaway got the inside position. Just knocked it, stick with him, and got a hand on him. Might have been the case of why the ball fell incomplete.
That's correct. Yeah, and if I'm Borden, I'm going there again.
Second down, Borden in the shotgun. Looks again to his left. Now throws back across the middle. He's got his man. No, again, it's knocked incomplete. That might have been number 20. That's number 29 on the play for the VI Raiders. Jeremy Chang. Again, not giving up on the play. What it looked like the Rebel receiver was home free.
No, he just, Skeet had his hands on the football. Chang just came in and hit him on the hip, and the ball popped out. Incomplete pass.
So the Raiders defense holds after what looked to be a couple of potential touchdown passes there from Borden to Greenaway and then to Nate Skeet, but looked to be coming away, perhaps only giving up 3 points on the field goal attempt by Clark.
Well, I think as your defensive coordinator, Karen Mary, you got to be happy that you're holding these guys to a possible field goal here, especially after that big gain that Borden had earlier.
So Kyle Clark will attempt about a 26-yard field goal. Snap is good, hold is down, ball is kicked, ball is up, kick is good. 26-yard field goal looked like on the play by Kyle Clark makes the score. The Westshore Rebels 3, the VI Raiders no score. 10:36 left in the first quarter, and the Rebels draw first blood.
That was a good end for it. It came out as you got stopped twice on passes, so you make it happen with the leg. And that Kyle's been pretty steady all year. He's kicked the most field goals in the league, so he's pretty confident with that. He's also second in place in scoring within the BCFC with 56 points right now, 59 points now, depending on what Nick Wenman did with the Okanagan Sun this afternoon.
As we mentioned, the Sun were 42-3 victors in Chilliwack against the Valley Huskers, so they improved their record now to 7-0 as they continue to turn and remain undefeated.
6-0-1.
Sorry, you're right. They did. They had the tie last week. My apologies to the VI Raiders. They are 6-0-1 after the emotional tie last week against the Raiders. Thank you for that correction, Mr. Short.
You're most welcome.
So Kyle Clark will now kick off with the team up 3-0. Good kick down deep to his left to Mayo. Catches it about his own 12-yard line. Waits for the blockers to come. Now hits the hole. But the Rebels are right there, gang tackling him right around the his own 23-yard line.
Yeah,
not sure if that little stutter step might have cost him some momentum.
Yeah, I think it did. And Eden Haynes-Horvath is one of the special teams killers with the Rebels, and he's leading their team in special team tackles this year, so it's not surprising to see him first down and first guy to make contact.
Might have been a case where Mayo just needed to bark his signals to the wedge to get them moving a little bit faster so he could hit that hole and head down the field.
Yeah, I thought he got a little bit too close when the front row is backing up. They were a little bit too tight for him to make a good cut on it.
So the Raiders will take over on their own 20, looks like about 25-yard line. LeBear still in at quarterback in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. The handoff there right up the middle to Rhett Williams, breaks a couple tackles, shakes it again, moves the ball down the field and looks to have a gain of about maybe 6 or 7 on the play, depending on where the spot is.
Yeah, it was a good little run. He just took a little run, the handoff running to his left, and he pulled a couple guys. E.T. was the first one on the tackle, and then Chris Larson came in, number 7, at the end of the play and blew him up. So you can see here on the replay, E.T.'s got him. Here comes Larson. Hello. And he's on the ground. But still a good game to put you in a situation where you're second down, less than a yard, or second down on the foot. You've got to play with something. You could put it up with knowing that you could probably pick up first down on the third down if necessary.
So it was actually a gain of about 9 on the play. Second and short. The Bears still in the shotgun. 2 receivers beside him. Hands the ball up right at the ball. Big hole for Rhett Williams, breaking into the Rebel secondary. Finally dragged down right just past midfield. Big run for the Raiders on second and short, gets them into Rebel territory.
Well, he had a good game last week against the Okanagan Sun. He's the first player this year to rush for over 100 yards against the Sun, and it's the same type of plays they were running against the Okanagan, which is to run up the middle. And here you see he's got a great big hole, gets into the second, third levels, and it's the linebacker, E.T., making the tackle after a large gain.
Yeah, he wasn't even touched there until he hit the third level down the field. Not a hand on him, and scampered for a very good gain on second and short.
So if I'm the coaches here, we're using this here. I'm going to be saying I'm going to bring a little bit of play action pass possibly now that they've had 2 good back-to-back runs against the Rebels defense.
1st and 10 Raiders, early movement, flags are on the play. LeBears looks down the field, he's got him, man. Mayo right down the seam, he's got him all the way down, trying to break free. He is down and finally dragged down around maybe the 8-yard line. Bryson Mayo connects with Jake LeBears for a big gain, pending what the flag will be, but I believe it's offside against the Rebels.
Yeah, it certainly looked like offside, and LeBears was smart there to keep the play going. He saw the flag drop, so rather than just chuck it away, knowing they're going to get another play out of it, he throws it up, and Mayo makes a great catch right over his shoulder.
Mayo, one of the most talented receivers in the BCFC, no question about that. Favorite target of Jake LeBears. He just got inside there on Marcus Brown, number 21. LeBears spotted him, and away they went.
And he's also a pretty good kick returner, leading the league in all kick returns.
Absolutely. Big gain for the Raiders as they look to answer the field goal the Rebels just put up a couple minutes ago. They are 1st and goal. LeBears directing his troops around. Looks like first down around maybe the 7-yard line. LeBears under center. Blitz coming for the Rebels. No, he rolls out. Play action. Oh, incomplete pass. He was looking on the play for, looks like number 3. Looks like number 3, Deshaun Dingwell. And he had him there. It just didn't connect and didn't get the pass up.
Yeah, he had a lot of pressure coming from his behind, and I thought that he was a little bit hurry on it, but you got to do something. And he put it in a position, obviously, where Dingwell was the only guy that was going to be able to catch it.
Big play here for the Raiders here. 2nd down and goal. Looks to be around the 7-yard line here. The Bears now in the shotgun. He's got Williams beside him. 3 receivers to his right. Mayo lined up as the slot. 2 receivers to his left. He's looking to his right. Throws the ball deep in the end zone, looking for the corner route. Ball falls incomplete. He was looking for North Rainey on the play. A lot of receivers, a lot of DBs in one area, and nobody's able to come down with it.
Well, again, I thought it was an opportunity to take the lead here, but they're going to have to settle for a field goal from James Parker, field goal try from James Parker. James leads the BCFC in field goal percentage. He's 12 of 13 for 92% kicking percentage here. So on paper, it looks like it could be a good kick, but you never know. Rebels have got a lot of stuff up their sleeve with Coach John Cartalicchia, who runs special teams. He loves that funny stuff on all special teams. You don't know what's going to happen.
So a bit of about a 13-yard field goal, 14-yard field goal here by Parker, looking to tie the game up for the Raiders. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, kick is good. Some of those kicks, you never know when they're at an angle like that. Sometimes they look wide, but they are in fact good as the uprights seem more narrow than they actually really are.
You're narrow for us because we can't kick.
No, that is true.
All right, so, good start to this game.
So the Raiders have to be happy with that. They were able to answer the field goal by the Rebels with one of their own, tie the game up at 3. With about just over 8 minutes left in a good football game as fans continue to file in here to West Hill Stadium. Looking around the stadium tonight, Paul, looks like it's pretty packed as the exterior stands are now, even those are now filling up here, and looks to be a great crowd tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be this is a good matchup. There was some good press all week about this game being played, and it's an important game. If you're a football fan, you're going to search these type of games out and come and watch, or tune in to BCFC TV to get a peek at it as well.
So the Raiders will kick off here. The Rebels will receive. Looks to be balls kicked down to the Raiders' left-hand side. Fake a little bit of a reverse play, a little dipsy-doodling. Fumbles the ball. Raiders look to be on top of it. Maybe a little bit too much dancing and not enough moving the ball up the field.
I think Brooks Miller got on top of that on the special teams, number 35. Yeah, I think when he left his feet, there's a little bit of problem there, and that's when he came down. That's when the hit came to him. So Dan Clark, number 24 here on the return, on the replay. And as he jumps over here, number 78, that was Andrew Hunt who knocked the ball out and recovered by number 35, Brooks Miller. An opportunity here on a turnover. Here's the first one of the game.
Big opportunity here for the Raiders, looking to capitalize on the mistake by Clark. Lights are just coming on, and it's football weather here at West Hills. Raiders take over, 1st and 10 on the Rebel 29-yard line. LeBears barking signals. He's got 2 receivers beside him, 2 running backs beside him in the shotgun. Hands the ball up right up to Williams. Breaks the tackle, does a little dipsy doodle, and finally dropped down after about a maybe an 8 or 9 yard gain. It looks like he had a little stutter step there to break the hole and break one tackle before he went for a decent gain on first down.
That was a good little run. He just off tackle, and I think probably the game plan of the Raiders is to run at the defensive line of the Rebels. They're very, very quick, so let's man up and just block them. Rebel speed cuts you down when you're running wide, but up the middle, possibly that's where you're going to be your Achilles heel.
Yeah, we saw Kamloops last week against the Rebels getting a little success running right at the Rebel defense. So as opposed to side, just going straight ahead, and the Raiders look to have started that trend here tonight against the Rebels as well.
Yeah, and they had that success with this type of running last week against Okanagan, where they drove the field near the end with some great runs by number 24, Rhett Williams.
Blitz looks to be coming here. No flags on the play. Hands the ball up right up. They got stuffed by the Rebels. Not much, if any. He might have lost a yard on the play there as he handed the ball off to, I believe it was number 15, North Rainey on the play.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at that one.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that too. North Rainey, known as a receiver and a good one at that, hands the ball off on a second and short play, and the Raiders look to have had no gain on the play. Still bringing up now third down Raiders, and they look to be going for it as LeBaire stays on the field.
Yeah, this is kind of a surprise this early, but I guess the head coach has confidence and that his offensive line can push these guys around to get the first down. Obviously, they're not going to be trying anything fancy here. You want to get first down first.
Absolutely. LeBaire's now in the shotgun. Third and short. He throws the ball on the play. Ball is caught by Mayo. Breaks the tackle. Cuts the outside. He will dance into the end zone. Bryson Mayo with the touchdown for the Raiders on a great pass and run by Jake LeBaire to Bryson Mayo from about 20 yards out. About 20 yards out.
That was a nice play. It was just a short little curl in, but he got number 18, Alex Bonaplum, made the great block there to spring him to the outside and for the score.
Beautiful block on the play there, and Mayo with his speed, no problem getting around the corner and into the end zone for the Raiders.
That's his 9th touchdown of the year.
Wow. So the Raiders were able to capitalize on the fumble by the Rebels on the kickoff return. High snap, gets it down, does bang it through. Good job on the hold there to get that ball down on the tee, and the convert is good, making the score. The VI Raiders 10, the Westshore Rebels 3. Just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter here at West Hill Stadium.
Well, that was a good little drive, obviously from the turnover. But they went to the two guys that have been going to all year, Williams and then Mayo.
Now the Raiders just recently adding receiver Ian Lee from the PFC from the Winnipeg Rifles. So him and Mayo as a combination at the receiving corps could be a lethal combination down the stretch.
Oh, they've got the best passing team statistically in the league right now, and that'll set up a good 4 receivers across the board that the LeBurge is going to have targets to. It's going to be an interesting last 3 games of the season for playoff positioning.
James Parker kickoff down to the Rebel about 10, 12-yard line, picked up by number 3, cuts to his left, great hole, great blocking on the play, one man to beat, he jumps the kicker, James Parker finally goes out of bounds, right around midfield as the fans love that. Brandon Gandry with a great return, giving the Rebels great field position to start this drive.
Well, you did your classic, you catch the football, you start up the middle to set the blocking, and then you have the either left or right, and this play was obviously called to the left, and that where his hole happened, just around about the rugby lines, the white lines. He just said, I'm moving upfield, and found this hole. He breaks to his left here. He's got some great blocking, and the last guy is the kicker coming in as he tried to jump him.
Great return there by Gandry, and the Rebels will take over first down on their own 52-yard line. Good field position to start this drive. Crowd starting to get into it at West Hills. Borden under center, hands the ball off to Trey Campbell off the right side. Raiders trying to string it out. Campbell dances around, gets about 2 or 3 on the play after good Raider flow on defense there, but he is able to get 2 to 3 yards on the play there.
It's a good play. That's one of the plays the Rebels like to run, a little stretch play to push everybody and then use their speed to find the hole and cut through it. But the Raiders, they stayed on the line of scrimmage that time. Nobody penetrated. They just went with the flow and then slowly cut them off to where there's nowhere to cut.
Campbell, such a dynamic force in the Rebel backfield, along with Brad Ennis. A nice complement of each other. Borden in the shotgun, 2nd and 7 we'll call it. Looks to his left, throws to his left. Incomplete, nicely knocked down on the play there by the Raider defender. He was looking for number 10 on the play, Austin Lindo Brow, but great defensive play there by the Raider defense.
Oh, Josh Bajan, number 23, he's back last week for the first time after dislocating an elbow, and you can see it was his right elbow since he's got it padded up and with some protection there. But that was a great play. He's one of the better defensive backs in the history of the BCFC from a statistical standpoint, and his addition to the backfield as they work down the stretch here is certainly going to help them.
Hey, you can see that pad there on Paisley's arm. That is a pad. He's not hiding snacks in there. He's actually putting that together to keeping that safe as he returns from injury, as Paul mentioned. Fake on the play by Kyle Clark. He rolls to his right now, does kick the ball. Short kick to the Raider by the Raider bench. No yards on the play as Mayo catches that, dropped down immediately, but the Raiders will get 15 yards on the no yards call against the Rebels.
Yeah, it was usually Kent Hicks does the punting, and that was Kyle Clark. I'm kind of surprised that Kyle was doing the punting. But not a bad kick. He put it close to the sideline to where the Mayo only had one way to go, and that was up the sideline. And the Rebels do what you normally do against somebody that's dynamic on kick returns, is to take the penalty to limit a big game.
Just looking on the field now, Paul, do we see, is Kent Hicks on the field playing defense now for the Rebels? I don't know if your eyes might be better than mine, but I don't know if I see.
No, I don't think he's been on at this point of the game.
He is dressed and on the roster for the Rebels, so maybe an injury or an equipment issue, but he is not on the field, and as we mentioned, wasn't handling the punting duties there as he traditionally does.
Well, if you have one of those sound things on the sideline, we'd know he's on the sideline there.
Absolutely.
He's loud.
So the Raiders take over, handoff on the jet sweep to Bryson Mayo coming from his left to the right, our broadcast booth right. Gains about maybe 2 on the play. The Rebels, sniffed that out after a short gain on the jet sweep to Mayo.
Oh, linebacker E.T., he got a nose for the football, and he moves so well laterally that he's going to limit any gain that he can get his hands on. He's such a sure tackler.
I thought Mayo was a little close to the line of scrimmage when he took that ball and maybe could have bounced outside. But again, good stiff job by the Rebel defense to limit the gain to about 2 on the play.
Yeah, it seemed to be a delayed type play as well. It didn't establish itself early enough, I thought.
2nd and 8, LeBear's in the shotgun, throws the ball right down the middle of the field, knocked away. The ball was thrown high, intended for Bryson Mayo. It will be 3rd down. A lot of red jerseys in the neighborhood of number 4, the star receiver Mayo.
Oh yeah, he's got a pork chop jacket on, and these are Lions coming on him. They're not going to lose him tonight, that's for sure.
No, the Rebels will keep their eye on him, and I'm sure have some tricks up their sleeves to keep him in check and keep the guys like that. It's hard to keep them from doing something. It's just you try and minimize their impact on the game because they're just too good. You know they're going to do something.
That's true.
So the Raiders will kick here, 3rd and 8. Good snap. Kick is up. High kick right down the middle of the field. Not overly deep on the play. Ball bounces around. Will be no yards on the play. Stevenson picks the ball up. Gets about 10 on the return before he's dragged down on his 40-yard line. No yards on the play, but I think the yards that he gained will nullify that penalty against the Rebels.
And I think there's also penalty for unnecessary roughness against the Raiders, number 79, after he makes a great play to knock the ball loose on the Rebels fumble. Westland now takes probably a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness for hitting a defenseless player. So we have no yards and a rough play against both teams. Very selfish play.
Yeah, no kidding. So the Rebels are going to get some good field position out of this one to play. There is an injury. Can't see, there's a horde of injuries there, but there is a player down in behind the Rebel huddle there where they are. We'll get the number as soon as we can for you folks. It looks might be 19. Might be 19. The returner Kane Stevenson, I believe, is injured. Yes, it is number 19, Kane Stevenson on the play.
Yeah, I think it was just he got twisted up there on the tackle. He could be a little tired too. Just Coach Karlik is out there, obviously concerned. He's one of the more dynamic players on the Rebels team. Yeah, I think he probably had the wind knocked out of him a little bit here and just get himself organized to get up. When you do get the wind knocked out of you, it's like your world's come to an end, and it takes a few moments to get your breath back inside you.
I had that same problem climbing the stairs here to our broadcast.
I knew. I was watching you.
We made it.
I was going to send a couple players down to help you.
I was looking for the elevator, but no such luck. So Stevenson walks off on his own steam, which is great to see, and we hope to see him back in action soon. He's a heck of a talent for the Rebels, and they will definitely want him back on the field.
Yeah, he does a lot. He set a Rebels record last week. As a matter of fact, 103-yard run for a touchdown. Broke the old record of 101.
So after all the penalties, the Rebels will scrimmage in Raider territory at their time. Just getting the stick set and the ball on the field, and play whistled in, and we're about 3:25 left in the first quarter. 10-3 still, the Raiders are on top. Gordon in the shotgun, hands the ball off. Trey Campbell off the left side. Good Raider defense there after about 2 or 3 yards again. Gain flags now on the field. Is there probably an unnecessary roughness against somebody, I would assume?
The way the Raiders were clapping, it looks like it's against the Rebels, but that was a nice tackle there. Number 43, Tyler Hill, got really low and took out Campbell's feet. And obviously not going anywhere if you don't have feet on the ground.
They're walking. Both teams were pointing at each other, but it is a penalty against the Rebels on the play. So they are backing the ball up.
Must have been unnecessary roughness based on the 15 yards. This is after the play, so it brings up second down. Face mask.
Face mask. 15 yards. Raiders were there and snuffed that play out pretty quick, but it will be a penalty against the Rebels, backing them up on theirs now side of midfield and down to about their 47-yard line, I would say.
Again, these are the ones that the Rebels struggled with all year, and now you're playing a team that possibly can take advantage of these things. And this is where you got to talk about it. You got to look at the team and put team ahead of I and make it work.
Gordon swings the ball out to Campbell out of the backfield. He's got ahead of steam, breaks the tackle. No, he doesn't. Great tackle on the play by the Raiders. Looks like number 23, that was Josh Paisley again, as Campbell had a head of steam, but he was able to drag him down after about maybe a 7 or 8 yard gain on the play, or that could have been big trouble for the Raiders.
That was a really nice play. Campbell took a little swing pass, and he had the edge, and Paisley came out of nowhere to get a hold of again, get down his legs. He's a powerful runner, and Paisley comes in and makes the tackle low here and holds on.
Yeah, great. Nice block on the play by Nate Skeet also to spring him for a few extra yards, but heck of a play by Josh Paisley, who's been an all-star in this league before and making his presence felt here early. So third down, the Rebels will punt. Raiders look to be coming with some pressure. Moves to his right again. Short punt again. Very short kick. Late flag on the play. Might be against the Raiders for contacting the kicker, perhaps. They hope it's probably not the roughing variety, or it will be a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down. I don't know about that one. I saw that. I mean, to me, he looked like he was rolling to his right, and the Raider defender has a right to tackle him if it appears to be a fake. And the flag came very late on the play, but it is a roughing the kicker. That's a 15-yard variety and automatic first down, I believe.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him. We got to protect the players, obviously, and if he's in the motion of kicking, but again, as a player defender, you know these rules. You have to stop. You can't keep going. And I think at the end of the day, until you get into these guys' heads about these type of penalties with this type of penalty, you're going to be all games, and it slows everything down. You can make it work. It's a 15-yard penalty now, first down, and the Raiders had a great opportunity to have a little bit shorter field, and they just blow that.
Yeah, they're just sorting this out, but we believe it to be Rebel ball as they move the sticks to give that impression as well. We'll wait for the signal here. It is unnecessary roughness against the Raiders. Roughing the kicker and a 50-yard penalty and a first down.
Yeah, he didn't signal the kicker, so maybe it was something that he roughed him, not in the kicking motion, but maybe just after. Maybe he pushed him or got his hands up in his face or something.
Yeah, the flag was late, so I mean, when he was rolling out to his right, I mean, the Rebel Raider player, had an opportunity. I mean, you had to bring him down, but you might be right, Paul, where it might have just been a shove late, or maybe a slap on the head or something like that.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for the Rebels maybe to catch the Raiders sleeping here, since they've been arguing about the penalty.
Borden
throw one up.
Yeah, absolutely. Borden under center, looks to his left, scrambles out, big hole. Borden breaks free, gets around, looks another flag on the play, probably holding against the Rebels as Borden scrambles for about 10 or 12 yards.
Yeah, I think
likely coming back.
I think Yitna got a bit of cloth of white, and they sniffed that out before the yards gained, so holding penalty, possibly illegal use of hands. That's the dynamic of Scott Borden, is he has that ability to run with himself, and oh my gosh, once he gets going, he's by far the best running quarterback in the league, and they use him on the edge more. They're definitely going to pick up more yardage.
Now Borden stepped up there to just parted like the Red Sea, and he had a lot of real estate in front of him and scampered out to his right-hand side before the hold on Yitna.
And he's such a good athlete that you can spy him, but he's going to make you miss. First guy's going to miss. He's a tremendous athlete.
So 1st and 20 now for the Rebels on the Raider 50-yard. Just under 2 minutes left here, 1:59 in the first quarter. The Raiders are up 10-3. Great atmosphere at West Hills as the fans still, I think, are coming into the park here.
Yeah, there's more people coming to the gate. It's great to see.
Borden's screen pass does get in the hands of number 25. Brad, hang on 1 second here. Brad Innes on the play, little screen pass, and it looks to have gone for maybe got the original holding penalty back there.
Yeah, just a little screen pass, and the Raiders snuffed it out. They had somebody there, but Borden just put the ball up over the defender's head, and Innes was able to make the catch, but there was a lot of defenders there. But still a successful play. You pick up 10 yards. That's pick up 10 yards.
Got the hold back. They got the holding yardage back here, and now scrimmage 2nd and 10 on the Raider 40-yard line. Borden in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to his left. Design quarterback draw. Raiders clog it up. Borden in lots of trouble, spinning around. Finally dropped down. Big loss on the play as he's brought down at the Rebel 50-yard line after, I would say about a 20-yard loss there on the play.
Yeah, that was number 98, Brody Taylor. And he'll be credited with a sack on that, and he should. The whole defensive line came across, like you see on the replay here. They cut off the angles. Nobody really got to him and where they could fake him out. Just stay in your lane, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. They'll make the tackle.
Yeah, Borden had nowhere to go, unlike on the first down play where it parted like the Red Sea. The Raiders defense came in a even line there, and Borden had nowhere to scramble as the Raiders just closed in on him. So the Rebels will punt here, 3rd down and a whole lot. Again, the running punt there to the right. Better kick on the play by Clark towards the Raider bench and out of bounds roughly on around the 26-yard line. That was a better punt on the play as they scamper to his right and can kick the ball to his right as well.
Yeah, that's getting kind of in junior football and some of amateur football because of the protection problems that some of the teams have. They will run that type of play where the right-footed kicker moves to his right and kicks. Also gives a good athlete who's a punter the option to run. If there's nobody's coming at you can run. I know the Okanagan Sun were very successful with that when Shane Beattie was their coach up there, and they had
Brendan Van Nistelrooy.
Yep. He was very good at that.
Absolutely. Fantastic athlete Van Nistelrooy was, who played DB, was an All-Canadian for the Okanagan Sun a few years back. Kind of a sloppy handoff. Flags are all over the play. I don't think this play, I think there was, they blew the play dead. It didn't look like anybody was set on the play, and kind of half the line moved and half the line were still in their stance when the ball was snapped.
Yeah, it was kind of, just a
bit of a botched play. It's probably going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Raiders here.
I would think with the whistle that early, this definitely was legal procedure.
Raiders are moving backwards, and it is a 5-yard penalty against the Raiders, bring it up 1st and 15. Got to think there on the punt with Hicks not in it, punting now. Raiders special teams coordinator Sean Roden might have something up his sleeves, knowing that Clark is going to be going to his right and bringing pressure off the Raiders' left-hand side to stop that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and with Kent Hicks punting, he's a good punter, but he's a little bit slower on the punting mechanics of the game, and I think they were probably looking at we can get up the middle on him. But yeah, it changes everything with a different punter now.
The Bears hands the ball off to Rhett Williams off the left side, spinning, trying to struggle forward. Gets maybe about 3 on the play. It was set 1st at 15 after the penalty. Williams on the play looks to get maybe about 3 yards, bringing up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, no, that was a good play. Robbie Lowe's was in there making the tackle, the newest Rebel from the Regina Thunder.
That's the end of the first quarter here at West Hill Stadium. The VI Raiders in a spirited Island rivalry matchup game lead the Westshore Rebels by a score of 10-3. Pretty good first quarter of football action here between two pretty evenly matched teams. I mean, these teams battled very closely at a game in Nanaimo. We were at that game. Some might even think the Raiders could have won that game as they were up early, and I think this is pretty much what we expected, a good close game between two good football teams.
Well, so far the penalties have played a role in the game, as well as a turnover. The only turnover of the game resulted in points for the Raiders. Well, I guess it wasn't 2 turnovers. The Rebels also threw an interception on the first play of the game, but there was no harm, no foul on that one.
I'd like to thank you again for joining us here on bcfctv.com, powered by Remax. Hopefully you're enjoying some good junior football action. Very important game here for these two teams as they both look to be headed for the postseason. It's just a matter of where they finish and where they will be on come the semifinal Saturday or Sunday, depending on which park we're in.
Yeah, I think if Kamloops lost today, obviously, I think even they're out of it now, but it would be for sure today if they lose to Langley. Then, like you say, it's just positioning on where teams fall.
Raiders scrimmaging, 2nd and 10, fake jet sweep there. Ball swung out to number 24. That's a lateral on the play. Backward lateral, and it looks like the Rebels have pounced on the ball. Little fake jet sweep on the play. Ball was thrown behind the quarterback, and it was basically a live ball.
It's not a bad play, but as a coach, one of the things you teach on that is you make sure that ball's thrown forward, or the end result's going to be what happened here. You can see where the ball skips over Rhett Williams' head, number 24, after he fakes to Mayo, number 4, going to his left. But as he throws it behind him, and it's over his head. Chris Larson come in, knocks off Williams on the ball, and I can't see who that number two.
It looked like on the play.
Marley Cliff Delsey jumps on the football, and Rebels ball in scoring position at the 14-yard line.
Williams tried to get on the ball, so there's no confusion. He just got knocked off it by Larson, and the fumble recovery came in by his teammate.
But again, if the ball's thrown forward like your coach, it's an incomplete pass.
Absolutely.
You're punting the football.
So we have a timeout on the play as the Rebels do take over. Timeout for the Rebels. A little bit of miscommunication here after the quick change of possession, and the Rebels offense coming on the field.
Well, I think the emotions are running so high that when there's a play like this past one on the fumble, everybody gets so excited, and there might be a player that gets caught up in the excitement of that turnover that he forgets he's on offense. Or he forgets his helmet's on the bench and he runs out without a hat on. But they're shaping up to be not a bad football game. It's another one of these, what they used to call heavyweight bouts, but you can't say that. This is just a rival game between two island teams that they're not in love with each other, but they understand the importance of a game like this for the overall commitment to the BCFC and what it does for the promotion of junior football in British Columbia.
And just checking the out-of-town scoreboard today, after the third quarter in Langley, the Langley Rams were up by a score of 20-14 over the Kamloops Broncos. That was a few minutes ago, so we'll try and get you a final score, or at least a fourth quarter score here for you folks. But after 3 quarters, it was the Langley Rams 20, the Kamloops Broncos 14.
Kamloops can pull this one out. I'm not sure if it'll save any playoff chances for them, but it will certainly make it interesting between where the Rams are going.
So the Rebels will take over, 1st and 10 on about the 14-yard line. Borden in the throws to the end zone, ball incomplete just off the hands. It looked like a number 10. Is it number 10 on the play? Yeah. Good eyes. Yes, it was number 10. Number 10 on the play, Austin Lindo Brow. Ball was just a little bit high. Otherwise, he could have come down with that.
I think that was a touchdown pass. It just Scott got the ball sailed on him a little bit here.
Good protection on the play too.
The nose of the ball is still. The trajectory is still going up.
2 Raider defenders were there on the play, but there was a catchable ball in our opinion. But ball was a little bit high, but receivers will always say if they can get a hand on it, they can catch it.
Absolutely, and you coach that way too. You get a hand on it, you better catch it.
So 2nd and 10, Borden looks to his right, throws to his right. He's looking for Nate Skeet in the end zone, ball incomplete. He was turning to his left, turning to his right, and I think if he just went to the corner, the ball would have ended up in his hands for a touchdown, but it does fall incomplete on the play.
Coverage was pretty good by number 6, Sean Bursky, and I think he was just trying to find an area where I'm going to turn to my left, turn to my right, and maybe the ball will be there and I'll catch it, but it's just too overthrown.
Good news for the Rebels, though, on that play as Borden threw it in only a spot where his guy was going to catch it. Otherwise, the incomplete and no harm, no foul, and you live to play another down.
And this is an opportunity now to not to waste the turnover, to come away with points.
Absolutely. Rebels looking to cut the lead to 10-6 here for the field goal opportunity. Probably going to be about a 21-yarder, I would say. Kick is up. Kick is good, and that makes the score. The BI Raiders 10, the Westshore Rebels 6 with 13:37 left in the second quarter. The Raider lead is cut to 4 here at West Hills.
Well, that's where we're going to find, I think, where the game might be working to now is the turnovers, and the penalties, obviously, but turnovers is going to play a big part in this game. and you've got to take advantage of them. It's the same as if the other team commits a huge penalty, you want to take advantage of that and keep possession of football, or at least come away with some points. But the same thing on turnovers. You got to score when you get your opportunities.
Absolutely. Pretty even matchup here. We are 10-6, 13:37, as we mentioned, left in the second quarter. Looks like the Raiders have elected to receive the ball here and have the Rebels kick off to them.
I think I would too when you got a dynamic guy like number 4 back there, Mayo. But I don't think the Rebels are purposely going to be kicking it to him.
Just trying to get some more scores here. If we can get a final in with about, it looks like near the end of the game, it looks like it's 27-21 for the Langley Rams. But the Broncos have the ball. That is from a few minutes ago, so we will try and get you a final score here shortly, folks. And another game around the BCFC that people here might have their eyes on for playoff positioning.
Yeah, it would, especially with a Rams win and a Raiders loss, push the Rams into 4th place, and into 3rd place, and drops the Raiders into 4th. And the Raiders with a win here tonight obviously have an opportunity possibly to take 2nd place, and also a win here by the Raiders almost guarantees, and I would say probably does guarantee the Okanagan Sun 1st place. But everybody's kind of hoping to keep rolling along, and the last game of the year here between Okanagan and the Rebels will be for 1st place and be able to host Cullen Cup if you win the semifinal game.
And that home playoff field advantage throughout the playoffs, so important as the fall approaches. Rebels kick the ball off, down to Mayo around his own 5-yard line, cuts to his left, this time hits a hole harder, cuts quickly to his right. Good return on the play, and Mayo gets up probably to about his own 30-yard line. That one he kind of hit the hole a little harder.
That was very well, and because the ball was kicked deep, his wedge partners aren't going to set it that deep, so he's going to have an opportunity to get his eyes upfield and find out where everybody's coming as well. As he makes the catch here at about his 4-yard line, the blockers have already made the first contacts. Now he's just finding holes to get going. And number 20 on the Rebels, that's Eddie Nagoya, makes a nice tackle. And again, these dynamic players that are running like gazelles, you got to put them on the ground, so you got to make sure you hold on when you get a chance to get a hold of their legs.
Hold on and wait for the cavalry to arrive. But the Raiders will scrimmage on their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. LeBear's in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Looks to his right, throws the ball deep down the middle of the field, on the sidelines, looking for Mayo. The ball is incomplete. Little bit of tangling up there on the far side with the Rebel defender, but the ball falls incomplete, and there is a penalty flag on the play.
That could be holding. That's a holding call, but that was not a bad. It was a nice throw, and it was just the officials let the two battle it out. It was a little bit of hand fighting going on, and the ball was perfectly placed. It just that Mayo couldn't come down with it.
I think receivers and DBs both are okay with that as long as it's consistent, and if the hand checking is there, both players have a right to get the ball and make a play on it.
Now I see Kent Hicks on the field now, left tackle for the Rebels, defensive tackle. Yeah, that was a hold call. So the Rebels are obviously going to decline it, put him in a 2nd down. Now this changes obviously the whole play calling now for the Raiders. You're looking at that first one. You wanted to have the opportunity. We're going to strike here quickly, but now they've got to definitely get the 1st down.
So 2nd and 10, Raiders on their own 30-yard line. LeBear's in the shotgun. He's got Williams beside him. He's looking to his left. Pressure coming. Rebels front, pushes him, rolls to his right, sets his feet, throws the ball deep. Looking down the field, ball is incomplete on the play as the ball falls into the Raider bench, bringing up 3rd down for the Raiders, and the punt team comes to the field.
Well, I thought everything he wanted to do looked like wanted to do it to his left. And then when that was taken away, he certainly felt the pressure from, I think it was Chris Larson, number 7, coming across the line of scrimmage, and it made him flush out to his right. And again, when you're going to throw on the run, you really got to practice that to make it work. And I thought he went a little bit too deep, but I'm not out there running and throwing and feeling that pressure myself. So he made a decision that he thought was good.
Adam Finnick was the intended receiver on the play, but it is 3rd down. Raiders will kick the ball. Snap is good, kick is up, right down the middle of the field. Ball bounces away, a little bit of miscommunication there. Yitna now has to get on it before hit hard on the play. I guess it appears he must have been touched the ball as the Raider defender came down and delivered quite a smack.
Oh, he was on his horse, Riley Caljaw, and just was coming downhill quickly.
He took a shot there, and Yitna must have touched the ball there.
Yeah, it looked like he touched it just as he went to grab it, but then the second time, it worked out to where he tried to pick it up, but he put his head upfield. You can see on the replay here, as he's going to pick it up, his eyes go upfield, so it's hard to find the ball again. He's trying to find a hole, and Kaljaw just comes down and says, hello.
You wonder if he wouldn't have been smarter just to fall on the ball as quickly as possible, as opposed to kind of look around to see what was happening around him.
Yeah, I think sometimes you're invincible. You can do it all.
Of course.
You know, you're 20 years old, man, I can get that. I'm going to run through these guys.
I don't even remember being 20 years old, so it's been some time.
For you, it's a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad Innes is the injured Rebel on the play.
I remember when you were linebacker with the South Surrey Rams, man.
Yep.
South Fraser Rams.
South Fraser Rams. There's a credit card vertical, and I always say I relied on my smarts, but I don't know if that's the case, or that was just me trying to convince myself or fool other people.
I know you're a team captain, and you're also a linebacker, and a pretty good one, so something went right. You got those genes from your dad who played pro ball.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, now Father Time is caught up, and as we mentioned, now watching the game, by the time I watch a game, I'm exhausted by the end of it. So
history. You fall asleep with 3 minutes to go.
I see hits like that, and I feel them up here in the broadcast booth. So it's great sport, and I wish I could still play, and I'm sure everybody does. But we're here watching these athletes on the field and enjoying every minute of it.
Well, maybe we can get the BCSC to form a senior league.
Yeah, that'd be all right. An alumni game.
Yeah, there's bunch of old men playing ball.
Weekend Warriors. So the Rebels take over. Borden hands the ball off straight up the middle. Trey Campbell turned around, still fighting, driving his legs for about a gain of maybe 6 on the play, 5 or 6 on the play, as Campbell was driving his feet after taking the ball right up the middle against that Raider front defense.
That was a very efficient run, just upfield, run to the left, then right find the hole, and it took number 99, Quentin Bowles, had a hold of him, but he just kept pulling. You see Quentin Bowles, 99's got him there, but he's saying no, until help comes. And
Campbell's not the biggest guy in the world, but he has got some power to him when he runs, and he's a tough guy to bring down.
Well, he's a runner. You could tell there's guys that are runners and there's guys that are running backs, and guys like Williams and Trey Campbell, these guys are runners. They can go and they make things happen.
Blitz coming for the Raiders. Ball is thrown complete to number 9, Yitna, spinning away, dancing and getting downfield, all the way down to the 50-yard line. Good catch and run there from Borden to Yitna, and it moves the chains for the Rebels.
Yeah, it was a very good pass. That's probably one of the best passes I've seen Scott Borden throw all year. It was a bullet. He put it on a line as Yitna made the break on the post, and it was right there as he came out of the break and it was right in his hands. Very, very nice pass.
So the Rebels move the ball after a great catch and run there. 1st and 10 on their own 50-yard line. Borden under center a little bit more than he normally is. Campbell's right behind him. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Blitz come again. Campbell straight at the pot, makes a move, makes a man miss. Spins his way and dragged down after a gain of probably about 9 or maybe even 10 on the play down to the Raider 50-yard line.
Yeah, that was again a good run. He gets to the line of scrimmage with just hands on him. Nobody's really getting a clean shot at him, and he's into the linebacker territory. And number 1, Dexter Shea makes the tackle, but after a 7-yard gain to start with, but then almost a 9-yard run, and that's pretty close to his average. He's averaging around almost 7 yards a run this year. So every time you give him the football, you're going to should be ending up in a good situation your next down.
So Borden, second and very short. Blitz looks to be coming out the middle. Campbell juking and driving, not going anywhere. Dragged down. He probably lost 4 on the play, maybe even 5, depending on where the spot is. Not sure I'm crazy about that call, but Campbell didn't just hit the hole hard on second and short. Maybe should have danced around a little too much for my liking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he saw the hole close down on his left side and tried to cut back to the right, but the left side of the Raiders defense had already made penetration and there's nowhere to go.
Got to think on second and inches or second and half a yard, Jake LeBear's being as athletic as he is, maybe just snap the ball, fall forward, and move the sticks.
Why, yeah, you'd think, or maybe an option. Like I've always thought that with Borden at quarterback, with his intelligence along with the speed and ability he has as a runner, run an option. Yeah. You're going to freeze somebody along the line of scrimmage, and at least you're not going to get a score, but at least you're going to get a first down and plus you got more yardage, and you get to play again.
Or get the ball in the newcomer Innes' hands as he's pretty good on those short yard power situations. Hicks back into punt, rolls to his right, kicks right down the middle of the field. Good kick. Mayo's got it about his own 15, cuts to his left, gets a good block of play, makes a couple guys miss. He's in the open field, only has Hicks to beat and the sidelines, and Hicks makes a good play, cutting him off and knocking him out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. Great return by Mayo as Hicks just angled him to the sidelines and knocked him out of bounds.
Well, I think what happened there when Kent rolled to his right and punted, you have to have a little bit longer protection, and the longer the punt, the guys weren't able to get downfield as quickly, and that allowed Bryson had a chance here to make a cut, in which he did. He's a very, very intelligent runner. You can see him here. He's running with his eyes. He sees the whole field. And then once he got past that first row, he's gone. He's got one guy to beat. And Kent Hicks is a pretty good athlete. He's not going to let you do that, get by him like that. So Kent's going to make a tackle.
Hicks made a great play, just angling him out of bounds and using the sideline as his friend there. Otherwise, Mayo could have perhaps cut back and gone into the open field.
I think as a runner, he was probably thinking that, but he didn't want to get caught from behind, because you start thinking that way, somebody coming ear hole you from the other side, you don't see coming.
1st and 10, Raiders on the Rebel side of midfield. LeBears hands the ball off. Williams right up the middle of the defense, just to the left. No gain on the play, maybe a yard. Good defensive flow there, I believe, by 33 ET, dragging him down for the Rebels defense.
And Byron McKinnon came in from the defensive backfield, number 8, and he got into the backfield very, very quickly, and he made him just adjust a little bit into the defensive flow.
Well, we have a second quickly, a final in Langley. The Langley Rams 27, the Kamloops Broncos 21. So good game in Langley, and congratulations to the Langley Rams as they get a big victory at home.
It's going to be interesting. I think the Rebels, if I remember schedules correctly, the Rebels are in Langley next week.
Correct.
It'll make for an interesting game.
The Bears on second and long, rolls in big trouble, does get away with it now, throws the ball up. He's got 81, ball is thrown incomplete, just down by the uprights. LeBears was able to get away from the initial pressure, set his feet, and throw the ball downfield, but the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
Well, you see on the replay here as he's just scrambling around, he just wants to throw it. And when I was looking around, looking at this play, and Gagne makes a nice play. He's the only guy that's going to make a play on that ball. But as he's throwing, you think you'd have somebody coming back from a deep route to throw it to, but again, incomplete pass, no harm. You get to punt the ball. You want to put it down as close as you can to the sideline or the corner of the end zone. The Rebels will be starting as closely as possible to their own goal line.
I believe the Rebels may have, there's no flags on the play. I thought it was too many men. But the punt is down, fielded at the goal line by Gandry, spinning around and finally dropped down at about his own 15-yard line. Good downfield coverage. I was surprised he caught that ball. I thought he might just let it go into the end zone and take the field position.
I did too, but then when he did, he made the first couple guys miss before number 27, Travis Novick, put the tackle on him. But yeah, I think if it rolled in the end zone, they'd be starting at their own 35-yard line, and it'd be 11-6. But sometimes you say if your feet aren't going to be standing on the goal line, bring it out.
So the Rebels will take over. The victory for the Rams today improves their record to 4-3. They will host the Rebels next weekend in Langley. The Broncos fall to 1-6 on the season. And I believe they are at home against the Okanagan Sun, if I'm not mistaken, next week at the Hillside Stadium. The Rebels will take over 1st and 10 on their own maybe 12-yard line. Gordon in the shotgun. Has Campbell right directly behind him. 3 receivers to the short side, to his right. High snap. Gets it down, hands the ball off to Campbell off the left side. Raider defense there. He's got nowhere to go, and I would say he probably lost maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 yards on the play.
Well, it was a good play. It was number 98, Brody Taylor. He forced his offensive lineman, number 73, Tyson Thompson, back into the backfield, so it's made the play stretch out to Trey Campbell's left. But Taylor made a great play, just pushing it, and finally help came from the defensive backfield to throw him down for a 2.5, 3-yard loss.
Josh Paisley was in on that play as well, and he's been very noticeable here for the Raider defense here in the first half.
Yeah, he's a great addition to get back after that injury. And yeah, I think he's a 3-time BCFC All-Star.
Quick throw, Borden right down the middle, caught on the play, moving up the field, down, finally dragged down, should be a first down on the play. The catch was made by number 10, Austin Lindo Brow. Good little pass as he got on the inside and went right down the seam for a big first down, getting the Rebels out of field position problems.
That wasn't bad. He just kind of like a little banana right over the center, make the catch. The linebackers vacated because they're running like a 4-2, like a jive 4-2, 4-3 defense, and they vacate. There's going to be holes right down the middle.
Rebels in the hurry up, throws the ball down the field, looking for Nate Skeet. Ball just off his fingertips, right at midfield in front of us here as the Rebel offense looks to go in the hurry up, but Nate Skeet couldn't come down with the ball right at midfield, just off his fingertips.
Yeah, it was a great coverage by number 23, Josh Paisley. He was right in his hip, and Gordon threw the ball exactly where it had to go over Skeet's right shoulder, which it did, but just couldn't hold on. 2
number 23s on that play, colliding for an incomplete pass on the play. It's just over 6 minutes left here until the half at West Hill Stadium. The Raiders still leading the West Shore Rebels by a score of 10-6. And will scrimmage 2nd and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Borden in the shotgun, sets his feet, throws the ball quickly. Nothing good going to come out of that as the safety for the Raiders came roaring up here and could have put a big hit on number 23, Nate Skeet. Ball is incomplete on the play, but Sean Arabaski had a bullseye right on the receiver there.
Yeah, and the replay, I don't know if we get the whole play in, but it happened so quickly. I'm not sure if it's Paisley or interference against, looks like it's against Paisley. It'll be a 15-yard or spot a foul, so it'll be first down. Sometimes when you have a play, sometimes you have a play like that, it's hard to tell who's actually making the first contact. And
Borden did throw the ball quickly, but they will move the sticks on the pass interference call. No, we just got a player down here for the Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like Paisley's injured. Yeah, he got whacked pretty good on that last play, and he lost his helmet. So maybe it's a. When you're coming back after an injury, there's some things that hurt that you haven't been working out that much. So there's other little areas in your body that start to seize up as well.
While we have a second, just want to thank you again for tuning in to bcfctv.com, powered by Remax. Hoping you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Great to be under the lights here at West Hill Stadium with these two teams in a great football game. 10-6 is the score, just over 6 minutes left until the first half. Pretty good football game, pretty good even match play on both sides. Penalties probably a little bit too much for both teams' liking, but I think there's been pretty good flow of the game and pretty entertaining first half here for the look-to-be capacity crowd here at West Hill Stadium.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been back and forth, and it's had its little bits of, your penalties there to move you back, and there'll be a couple turnovers. So it's been a typical Raider Rebel game where it's close to start the game, and then the better team or the more conditioned team starts to stretch it towards the end.
So Paisley's up and he's walking off to the Raider bench under his own steam. That's great to see. I'm sure we'll see him back shortly as he's a big part of the Raider defense, and hope to see him back on the field soon. And battling here for the Raiders defense here as they look to hold the Rebel offense and get their offense back on the field.
First McHardisty has come in to take Paisley's spot.
Play action to Campbell. Borden's got time. Now he's flushed out to his left. Looking for a receiver. Looking. He's got, I believe, Yitna on the sidelines there. He does. About a 15-yard gain there on the play. Borden to Yitna, and the Rebels move the ball as Borden buys some time with his feet to complete a pass and move the sticks.
Yeah, again, that's what he's good at. Once he starts moving to his left or right, he's not the most accurate passer when he's doing that, but he puts a little bit of zip on the ball. You can see here he throws across his body, and Yitna's wide open because he came back. He saw his quarterback in trouble, so he broke his road off and comes back to the sideline.
Rebels moving fast here, back on the line of scrimmage here. Borden barking signals. He's got three receivers in the back, three receivers to his right. Trey Campbell behind him. Hands the ball off. Campbell in the backfield. Nowhere to go. Raiders right there spinning and now finally brought down to the turf after about a 7-yard loss on the play. Raiders do a great job defensively and Campbell's pushed back into to about his own 46, 47-yard line.
Yeah, again, Trey working to his left and nothing works and he has to cut back to his right. And by that time, Brody Taylor came across the line of scrimmage and forced him to make decisions in the backfield with his feet, and by the time he did the second shuffle step, the rest of the defenders were there to make the tackle for about a 4-yard loss.
Forward progress on that one. It does make it about a 4-yard loss on the play. So the Rebels will scrimmage 2nd and 14 or so from their own 50-yard line. Bit of a stoppage here. I'm not sure if there's a play. I think they're going to send Paisley off. I don't think he was out for the 3 plays there. If I'm correct here.
I'm not sure on that one.
No, maybe not. Yep, I think he is. I think he does have to come. I think he has to sit 3 plays as the trainers came out and attended to him. He was too eager to come back in the play and just came a little too soon.
So I see news in the CJFL this week. Snoop Blocker might be looking for a coaching job. I understand he stepped down as coach of the Calgary Colts. Be interesting.
Borden sacked and dropped on the play after a 10-yard loss. The Raiders defense gets to him. looks like the sack master, Quentin Bowles, was right there bringing down Borden, bringing up third down for the Rebels.
Yeah, Quentin Bowles forced him, and then number 79, Doyle Westland came in to help, and then Borden rolled right back in to Bowles. And I think that's his second sack today, so now he's up over 10, so he's leading the league. Yeah, you can see here where Westland had a grab of his legs, and Bowles just rolls over top. He almost got the football there, but obviously he's down.
Bowles, who I believe has at least 2 Defensive Player of the Weeks this year so far for the BCFC, continuing to make a name and making plays on the Raider defense. Hicks with his punt, short punt to his right, coming down in front of our broadcast booth, gets a Rebel bounce on the play and rolls out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
The play, I think that might be on sportsmanlike conduct against the Raiders.
Rebel player had his helmet off there, so we'll wait to see what that one was. I was watching the punt roll out of bounds in front of Bryson Mayo, and we'll wait to see what the call is here on the play. Yeah, it was interesting news again, as you mentioned, Paul. The winningest coach in BCFC history, no longer with the Calgary Colts after a few years in Calgary, and we wish Coach Snoop the best of luck. And we probably don't think it'll be long before we see him back on a football field soon.
He's too good of a football coach to be idle.
Of course, spent time with both the Rebel and the Raider organization, and piled up many wins when the Raiders moved. Or when the Raiders became the Raiders in 2005, and had 3 national championships to his credit as a head coach of the Raiders in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, he did some amazing things out here in British Columbia, that's for sure. So that was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Raiders. I think one of the Raiders, I think it was Quentin Bowles, I think it was, ripped the helmet of Inns Horvath's helmet off, and obviously that's going to be a penalty.
Draw a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you stop thinking about team, you're thinking about yourself now. Put some.
Raiders are pushed back now to their scrimmaging, 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. LeBaire still at quarterback. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Williams stands beside him. LeBaire looks to his right, throws the ball, catches it. North Rainey on the play, makes a man miss, cuts to his left and dives down after probably about a 10 or 11-yard gain on a catch and run play from LeBaire to Rainey.
Yeah, just a quick little out. Just let him catch it and see what he can pick up, and he picked up enough for the first down. It kind of looked like he lost his footing there a couple of times, and maybe that's the way he makes a cut, kind of limp-footed, but I thought he slowed down rather than speed up after he made it.
He made the first guy miss, and I thought he might be able to break free for a few extra yards. And
that's what I thought as well.
It was either the turf monster or something brought him down and just lost his footing, but it's still a good gain, and the Raiders will get the first down on the play. LeBaire's in the shotgun. Williams stands beside him, hands the ball up right up the middle. Williams makes a man miss, cutting down the field, back to his left now. Finally brought down on the play after probably about maybe another 10-yard gain on the play by Williams.
Good 10, 11-yard gain on that one for sure. We're up to the 3-minute whistle now, so that's going to be interesting. The team that scores in this last 3 minutes in the history of these guys is the team that basically wins the game. Except the exception was the first game this year in Nanaimo, where the Rebels scored 17 fourth-quarter points to win 27-25.
Absolutely. We were both at that game in Nanaimo. That was a heck of a football game, and Raiders jumped out early, and the Rebels looked to be reeling a little bit before they mounted their comeback in a very entertaining game at Caledonia Park in Nanaimo. And this one has been people have had this one circled on their calendars for some time now.
This one's mirroring what happened last game too. So
absolutely. So after the 3-minute warning, Raiders scrimmage 1st and 10. LeBaire looks to his right, throws to his right. He's got Mayo across midfield, spins away and dragged down on the Rebel 49-yard line. Jake LeBaire completing to Bryson Mayo for a big gain, moving the sticks.
That was a nice play, and it was a quick release. He took the snap, and it was a very quick release. He threw a little bit out of Mayo's reach, but his long arms were able to make that catch.
Number 20 on the play there, dragging him down. That was Eddie Nguyen Yangwa. Sorry if we're pronouncing some names wrong. We're doing our best here, but good little pass and run play, or good little pass play and catch by LeBaire to Mayo. Moves the sticks for the Raiders into Rebel territory.
Well, you have the clock in your favor here. You're moving the ball. You want to come away with some points on this drive.
LeBaire looks to his right, quick throw to his right, little bit low on the play, falls incomplete. Believe he was looking again on the play for that number 19 or number 15 on the play. 15, North Rainey on the play. Ball was down around his feet, would have been a tough catch for maybe a couple-yard gain, but it is incomplete, bring it up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think he went to the well a little bit too much on that quick little out. The Rebels snuffed it out pretty quick.
So with 2:12 left until the half here at West Hill. 2nd and 10 Raiders on the Rebel 49-yard line. Looked to be a timeout on the play by the Raiders. I believe that's their final one, as the Bears want to get on the same page with the coaches there and a big 2nd down play.
Well, it is a big 2nd down play. You don't want to give the ball back to the Rebels with too much time, because you know what they can do. They've shown in the past that they can strike very quickly. So you can eat more clock here, get it 1st down, get yourself in a scoring position, and give them very little time left, and be able to go into the locker room, with at least a touchdown lead.
Raiders would love to expand on this lead here before the half, and Rebels, of course, looking to hold the fort down, get the ball back, and see if they can get some points here before the half themselves. Good defensive showing here for both clubs. As I can say, they've both settled down, have their feet underneath them, and are making plays, and pretty much a game that I expected a low-scoring game, kind of similar scoring to the first game up in Nanaimo, and might end up being something around that point total here before all is said and done.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And I think the kids have settled down a little bit. The coaches settled down, the emotions of the game get back into the focus of the game. And I think you might see it mellow out a little bit as far as some of the extracurricular stuff.
The Bears looks to be changing the play on the ball here. Shotgun. 2nd and 10, looks to his left, scramble, forced to roll out to his right, has some room, had one man to beat but couldn't beat him. Good tackle on the play, holding LeBears to about a 5-yard gain on the play. If he beat that last defender, he could have easily scampered for the 1st down.
There's not many guys who break the tackle of ET, number 33. When he gets a hold of you, he keeps you there. And
LeBears is pretty athletic, but ET made a great play there to drag him down.
He certainly did.
Holding the Rebels short, the Raiders short of the 1st down there.
ET is here. You see on the replay that he's just tracking him, and he's not going to let him go too far. Inside out, makes the tackle. He's like Solomon Aluminium with the Lions. He's a very, very sure tackler.
Good open field tackle there by ET, bringing up 3rd down for the Raiders. Punting situation here. Good snap, ball just about blocked, but it is gotten away. Kick towards the Raider bench and out of bounds, probably around the wait for the spot, but it looks to be just wait. It's at the far side of the field there, right around the 15-yard line-ish. The Rebels will scrimmage 1st down.
That's not bad. He had some real good pressure coming off his right side, the kicker did, and then he kicked it to the right because that's where your pressure's coming from. You want to get it off as quickly as you can, and it's no harm, no foul. The ball looks like it's starting about the 16-yard line. You get to the point where you're saying, we don't need a return, so we're going to keep you guys as deep as possible.
Rebels looking for some late points here before the half. There's 1:51 left in the 1st half. They trail by a score of 10-6. Haven't mentioned Deshaun Greenaway's name yet. This might be a time where they look in the direction of the talented receiver here on the wide side of the field.
Well, they had the chance for a touchdown earlier in the 1st quarter, and he didn't survive the contact with the ground.
Fans are getting into it here. Hands the ball off straight up the middle. Trey Campbell cuts to his left around the corner. Good gain on 1st down, as he probably gets about 12 or 13 as Campbell goes scurrying off the left-hand side for a Rebel 1st down.
Yeah, linebacker Dexter Shea tracked him down, and Sean Aberkeski came in low, and they were able to put him on the ground. But again, it's a good, strong 16-yard run by the number 4.
Rebels in the hurry up. Borden in center. Handoff again right up the middle. Campbell cuts to his right. Dances around, finally dragged down. Another 1st down, probably about 12 or 13. And the Rebels will once again move the sticks as we approach a minute and a half in the 1st half.
He's got such a good move when he hits the line of scrimmage. He's got to be able to cut to his left or his right, but he sees the field so well. He sees the blocking develop. And when you're ripping off, like I said earlier, you're ripping off 9-10 yards of run, keep feeding them the rock.
Borden in the shotgun as they move quickly here. Got his man, Yitna, right around midfield. Tackled on the play by, I believe, number 7. Another completion there to Yitna, number 9. And I believe number 7 for the Raiders was in on the tackle.
Yeah, McNally Hardesty. He made the tackle, but the play was right in front of him. Just, again, a quick, small little post pattern. And again, Borden puts some zip on the ball.
Rebels continue in the hurry up. Now on the Raider side of midfield. Borden in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to his right. Campbell sets into block. Quick throw to this side. Caught by number 13. Trying to get to the sidelines, finally pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 5 or maybe 6 on the play. That was Gild Sharif with the catch and run, and he stepped out of bounds after about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Jeremy Chang close quickly to make the tackle, but he was wide open. He just ran a quick, short little 5-yard out and makes the catch. And those are the type of things that Rebels are good at. They're just going to eat the clock here, move it, keep moving it, eating the clock, not give you any time, and come away with the points.
Borden still in the hurry-up, shotgun, looks to his right, pumps once, now he goes down the field looking in the direction of Greenaway. He's got him down near the 15-yard line, scampers into the end zone. Touchdown, Westshore Rebels. Great play by Borden to Deshaun Greenaway. I thought we might hear his number called on this drive, and sure enough, he goes into the end zone for the Rebels, making the score 12-10. They jump out ahead.
Now you can see on the replay here, just a pump fake. He turned up and he threw it where nobody can catch it but Deshaun, and catch it in stride, gather his feet.
Does get into the end zone there, beating McNally Hardesty on the play. Greenaway, big target, and they've called his name here right before the half with just over a minute to go here. Now the Rebels up 12-10 with the pending point after.
That was a good play, and you still got a minute 5 to go. Raiders can answer here if they make it work.
Flags on the play, illegal substitution likely to call on the Raiders as they had too many men on the play. Point after is good by Clark on the play, and that makes the score 13-10 for the Rebels as they take the lead here in front of the home fans with just over a minute left here in the first half.
Yeah, they got too many men on the field against the Raiders. That'll be applied on the kickoff, so they'll be kicking off from midfield.
Still time for LeBears to answer here, but Rebels just kind of chewed up a lot of yards in a short period of time with 10, 15, 12-yard plays before the big strike to Greenaway.
From a coaching standpoint, sometimes you're preventing, you don't want the big play, and you let the little ones just chip away.
Raiders will be receiving here. They will have some time here. Jake LeBears looking for an answer here. They can get the hands into Bryson Mayo's hands. There might be a decent return here and potentially setting up a Parker field goal here.
I think you might see the Raiders take the ball, and obviously I think they're going to try to, if something happens on the first play, but they might use the clock and just run it out. Yeah, still a minute 5 is a long time in Canadian football.
And with the penalty here, you might be thinking onside kick, but I don't think you'll see it here. I would suspect Clark may put his foot to the ball and kick it away from Mayo. That would probably be the call in my opinion, but we will wait to see what special teams coordinator John Carlicchia comes up with here right before the half with just over a minute to go.
Yeah, you can't be wrong here. It's one of those things that if you do try an onside one, you're going to catch them napping. So why not?
There's the kick. It is a line drive, looking probably for the single point, but Mayo catches it down near his own goal line, straight up the middle of the field, looking for blockers. Bangs his way and crashes all the way out to about the 30-yard line. Good field position as Mayo just drives straight ahead, gets what he can, and the Raiders offense will come over the field with about a minute left on the play, but there is a penalty on the play.
That might be offside or
in the direction of offside on the play, and against probably the Rebels, I'm assuming. We will wait for the call, but the kicker's going to the sideline, so would suspect that we will be scrimmaging, where the Raiders will be scrimmaging where they are. After the return by Mayo.
Comes the call now. It's outside. Just decline it.
There we are. We did get that one right. Every now and then that does happen. Not often, but
yeah, that's true. And on that kick return, Mayo just obviously was told to secure the football. Don't do anything silly with it. We want to maintain possession. So just run up into the pile, get as far ahead as you can. Yeah, still a good 25-yard return, so that's not bad.
Be interesting to see here if the Raiders decide to be conservative here with just under a minute left in the first half on their own 30. The Bears looks to be in the shotgun, and 3 receivers are to his right and 2 to his left, so looks to be potentially in a passing situation as they look to try and answer the Rebel touchdown.
If they don't want to do anything here, we're going to leave too much time on the clock if they're turning the ball back.
The Bears roll to his right, quick throw, safe throw to North Rainey, I believe. Will hit out of bounds hard on the play right in front of the Rebel bench. Flag on the play, probably for a late hit out of bounds.
That was Robbie Lowe's came up from the safety position to lay the lumber on Rainey, but I think that obviously it was an unnecessary hit, but the game is played inside the lines, and Rainey's running down the sideline here, and he's not out of bounds unless somebody said something on the bench.
No, I think they called it. I think they said he was angling out of bounds. So
yeah, they did call him for unnecessary roughness. Again, a 15-yard penalty, and still with 53 seconds left on the clock, you're giving the Raiders an opportunity here to add some points to the scoreboard.
We've seen Robbie Laus for a couple times now here for a couple games with the Rebels, and really impressed with his physical nature of coming at the safety position and on special teams. Love the load he brings in the downhill running when he's filling on runs and plays like that.
Absolutely. I'm kind of surprised a player of his quality was able to be released from the Thunder.
So the Raiders are scrimmaging right at midfield. LeBear's fake handoff to Williams, looks to throw, got lots of time. Now the Rebels close in on him. Throws the ball to his right. Ball is incomplete on the play. He was under tremendous pressure, and it was intended, I believe, for 81 on the play.
Yeah, with Pelling, I think, wasn't it?
Sorry, 18.
18. Yeah, Alex Bonaparte. But again, nobody was open early, and then LaForge had to get his feet moving. LeBurge, I'm sorry, had to get his feet moving. And again, E.T.'s applying the pressure, and he's the guy that's in his face to force him to throw the football.
Had some time to throw there, but I guess the receivers downfield recovered, and LeBear's couldn't find anybody, and the Rebels finally closed in on him.
Well, the Rebels are playing too deep right now, so it's tough to get anybody downfield past 20 yards.
LeBear's second down, looks to his left, pressure comes again. He's rolls to his left and dragged down on the play, sacked on the play for about a loss of 9 on the play. And as it looks like Larson closed in on him, yet another flag on the play. This one probably of the unsportsmanlike variety again.
That'll move the ball up. It'll be a third down, I would think, still, but it moves it up 10 yards from where the sack was, which almost puts it back at where they were before.
These penalties just continue to pile up, and again, you want to just say, guys, make the plays and celebrate with your teammates, but leave the extracurricular stuff or the talking with the other team, leave that somewhere else.
Well, I'm sure that's an unsportsmanlike conduct. It was against number 6, Kent Hicks. I think the teams were told by the officials that they know the history of these two teams, and there's always been a lot of talking, a lot of after the play stuff with the, a little pushing and shoving, a little bit of pinching, and I think they told them we're going to call this stuff, so calm down.
Rebels coach John Carlicchia on the field, not very happy with that call on the play. Talking now to one of his defenders, but he was quite animated on the Rebel bench there.
Well, unfortunately, the kids, they get caught up in this as well, and a lot of these guys too, they know each other from other sports or from playing together or against each other in high school or community football. But they work out at the same gym, and there's a lot of jabbing going back and forth.
Late substitution here for the Rebels. Flags fly again. Kick is blocked on the play as pressure came in. Picked up on the play by Yitna. He's going down the sidelines, makes a spin move into Raider territory, and finally dragged down in front of the Rebel bench, probably down the 40-yard line. Flags on the play. Another flag comes late, another one after that. Wait to start. Anytime you go near the bench like that, you just want to be careful and have players, another flag on the play here.
Unfortunately, I think on this situation, you might see some ejections as this continues on.
Cooler heads have prevailed, but there are flags on the field.
I'm not sure he got his hand on this, but Yitna picked it up real quick.
Yitna made a spin move, and then he's bounced out of bounds.
He made a great spin move, and the guys make the tackle.
I mean, he is a bit out of bounds here. Watch and see.
Yeah.
There's a hit right
there. You go.
That will do it.
The penalty.
We saw a Rebel player on the sidelines there. It was not even involved with the play, and a Raider player ran right into him and got the shoulder, and that probably is what started everything on the play there.
And I think that's one of those plays that comes off from the bench. You're going to see that player ejected from the game, obviously.
Referees will take a sort it out. Again, no love lost between these teams, but the game up in Nanaimo earlier in the season was just a good, hard-fought football game, and there wasn't as much of this extracurricular stuff in that game. And again, a lot on the line for these teams, and a lot of playoff positioning and playoff seeding, and just a general dislike for each other, and the island bragging rights, and two good football teams, and this kind of stuff can happen every now and then.
Well, unfortunately, what's happening, there's some long memories on both teams from when the Raiders were granted a franchise. A lot of the players were released by the Rebels. Most of the players, all the players were released by the Rebels, and they all went to Nanaimo to play football. Yeah, that's definitely going to be somebody put the boots to somebody for sure.
Yeah, you saw it right in front of the Rebel bench.
But
Again, just back. You want to just say to your guys that when the guy's coming out of bounds in front of your bench, just back up and either hold him up or get out of the way and let him fall harmlessly to the turf. There isn't a need for a shot or a forearm or a shoulder or anything like that. Just get out of the way and move on.
Well, I know when I coach, you get caught up in the emotions of the game, but when you get out of it and you're watching it from a different vantage point, you can see that at the end of the day, everything that a player does on the football field hurts the guy sitting on the bench, because we're not going to get a chance, any of those second stringers, to play, because you're allowing the other team to have some success. And number two, you're doing it for you, not for the team. You're not helping the team at all.
Sure, both coaches right now, as referees continue to sort this out, both coaches are probably saying to their guys, just settle down and play football. I mean, there's lots of coaching, lots of experienced coaches on both sides of the field. Guys like Doug Hawken, who played in the CFL, and Shane Beattie, who's got Coach of the Years to his credit, and John Cardelicki, who's been around the game forever. So I'm sure these guys are probably saying, you know what, guys, let's just play football and make smart decisions and not make selfish ones that could hurt the rest of your teammates.
Yeah, and these are those long memories. And the coaches of both teams were part of the beginning of this rivalry, and there was a lot of hatred. There were times when police were involved.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that some of the guys have real long memories, but that's 12 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. But it's hard to let it go, especially when you have emotion and you bleed red or you bleed black or whatever who you cheer for. It's just young guys, junior football players being taught to be men during this venue tonight. That's what it's all about.
And it can happen, but I mean, both teams now, as we watch here, both teams now look to be talking amongst themselves as the referees sort this out, and cooler heads seemingly have prevailed, and both teams are probably just checking them to make sure everybody's okay. And
yeah, it looks like there's going to be some ejections. But I noticed there's only 6 officials tonight, so you missed that 7th guy who sees a lot more. So we might only not see as many penalties as we normally do.
Yitna's coming, I believe number 9 is Yitna. He was the one who had the ball in the play. I'm not sure if he did something or said something that's leading to an ejection perhaps, but the officials look to be bringing him over to the sidelines here with 30 seconds left here in the first half.
Got ejection,
didn't see
ejections. I'm not sure who's going for the Raiders. And I'm sportsmanlike against the Raiders.
Didn't see Yitna do anything on the play, but he is being brought off, escorted to the showers here for the on the Rebels.
And I think at the end of the day that he might have been the one that we saw in the replay doing something to the player that tackled him out of bounds. Obviously, he's trying to fire up the home side. He's a good football player. You hate to see him ejected from a game, because that could affect how this game's going to turn out here.
That's a big loss to the Rebels now that he's gone for the second half here. Again, we didn't see what he did on the play. He had the ball and was spinning around and dragged out of bounds, and must have been something well after the play. And again, both teams, I mean, I'm sure both coaches are probably saying, guys, there's 30 seconds left here. Let's get to the locker room and get our adjustments made and come out here for a good second half of football. I haven't seen anybody leave for the Raiders yet. Doesn't look now. Another flag on the play on the Raiders sidelines. That is going to be probably for a coach having some comments to the officials. And boy, these teams better be careful, because there are two penalties on a bench and the head coach is automatically ejected, even just for talking or commenting to the referees.
That's true. And also, it's stuff you don't need. Don't escalate what's already happened. Let's just move on. And that's the sad part about it, is, again, you allow your emotions to get going. And as a coach, if it did come from a coach, that's all you're doing, is you're always preaching to be the best player you can be on the field. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
So now you take the Raiders are in position here to add points in the last 30 seconds of this first half, and now you're taking them out of field goal range.
And again, we weren't assuming it was a coach, like you said, Paul. It might have been a player on the Raider sidelines taking that bench penalty. Looks like perhaps, so that was the second penalty. I'm just trying to see if one of the Raider coaches looks to be leaving the bench
they got
area.
2 of them, so Coach Hawking has to leave the bench. There's 2 of them. Or is that Glenn Cook walking way down there on the left through the end zone? Was he the one? I think under the rule, is it not the head coach?
If there's 2 bench penalties, it's a head coach, but obviously the referees, if somebody does step over the line, they can remove them, and it doesn't fall on the head coach if there isn't the second one on there.
So this would be, I guess it's 2 penalties, but moved it back 10 yards, so it'll be first down. Should be up first down up at this area here at the 47-yard line, looks like, of the Rebels. Still again 30 seconds to go here. It's been a long first half.
You know, there wasn't much of this until the last 30 seconds here, and just unfortunate play right in front of the Rebel bench, and then we've got a little bit of excitement and some drama here before the half.
I'm sure there'll be some good language in the change rooms at halftime to wake these guys up.
So we're back underway now after the lengthy delay. Raiders are scrimmaging in Rebel territory. LeBears drops back, throws the ball quickly down the seam. He's got Bryson Mayo cutting across the field from his right to his left, trying to get outside the corner. Flag on the play. Bryson Mayo thrown out of bounds at the 20-yard line or so. Big gain on the play by Bryson Mayo, moves the Raiders into scoring position pending what the flag is.
That was another bad play. Just Mayo's a good athlete. Robbie Lowe's here to hold around the neck. Push him about this. It was uncalled for. I thought with Mayo stepping over Gagne, completely out of line. I didn't see what that penalty was, but it was probably an objection of conduct.
Looked like it might have been there's a hold. Looks to be a hold against the Raiders here. So as Mayo cut from his right to his left, a hold on the play at springing the Raider receiver free. After the yards were gained, but it will be a 10-yard penalty against the Raiders. Now we've got a timeout on the play for the Raiders.
Well, again, it's another one of those selfish penalties that at the end of the day, you're taking your team out of field goal range, and the difference in this game could be a 3-point lead for the Rebels at halftime. We're all tied up with at least a field goal. But now you're turning it into being, a fairly lengthy field goal, which Parker has kicked some good ones, as long as this year is 39, so it would be a little bit out of his range at this point.
Timeout on the play, that's what we're waiting for. There's just over 21 seconds left here till the half. Again, good rivalry game here. Just hope for some good hard football and leave the extracurricular stuffs at home and not here tonight. And there's been times too where the Raiders had such domination over the Rebels. In the last couple of years, the Rebels have been a powerhouse, including winning the BCFC last year, representing the BCFC in the Canadian Bowl against the Saskatoon Hilltops. So these two teams when it's hard to have big rivalry games when the teams are not overly competitive amongst themselves.
Well, it's hard to call it a rivalry when one of the teams has only won 3 games, but still at the end of the day, the team, all the games have been evenly matched.
The Bears ISO on Mayo. He's got it down the field. He had good cover there, actually. He thought he had him down the sidelines. The Raiders look to ISO Mayo on the far side of the field and throw one deep to him, but good coverage on the play by the Rebels.
Yeah, Eddie Nagoyano had the good coverage on him, and the safety was able to get across because being a long pass, the Rebels are playing too deep. So again, Mayo's going to attract all the attention when it comes to coverage, because he was basically the only guy out on the route. LeBears said, "I'm going to throw it to you," and here we go. So now we got to come up at second down, and again they got they got to get a first down. They're going to be trying a field goal here.
Oh, I think it's only second down now for the Raiders. They are scrimmaging on the 35. LeBears drops back, looks to throw, looks scrambling to his left. Able to get free, now throws the ball high, deep into the end zone. A lot of Rebel receivers there, and the ball is intercepted by number 17 on the play, Robbie Lowe. There is a penalty on the play. Might be a hold on the play. As LeBears scrambled and got away, but just heaved it up and it fell into the Rebel defender's hands.
Yeah, he's in the replay. He just threw it up as high as he could, and he was hoping that number 18, Alex Monoplum, was going to be able to come across and out-jump everybody, but there's too many Rebel defenders in the area.
So the Rebels will take over. Likely it's just over 4 or just under 5 seconds left here in the first half. 13-10 still now for the home team. As this is likely a take a knee time and get to the locker room and regroup and get back out here for the second half.
Oh, yeah, I agree. They should just drop it. They're going to have to move the ball forward. You don't want to step back and give up the safety this close. But
yeah, you're right. It is. The ball is scrimmaged down at the 1 yard line, it looks like, so where Laos came down with the ball.
Yeah.
So the Rebels have to be careful here and obviously not take a knee because they will be giving up 2 points on the play.
So you're going to see probably, I would think, Scott Borden just running straight ahead.
Scott Borden, or perhaps a quick little dive here to Trey Campbell, perhaps, just to get out of the shadows of their own goalpost. Borden does just sneak ahead on the play, I believe, and yeah, he is down. Gets a few yards on the play and gets the Rebels some breathing room from their goal line now. 4 seconds. The clock is stopped right now, but it will be blown in here right before the half. And this, barring a penalty, will likely be the last play of the first half.
Yeah, I'm sure he's kneeling down. They want to get into the change room, make your adjustments, try to calm everyone.
Borden does drop back, does take a knee. That is the end of the first half. The score at the half in a spirited game here at West Hill Stadium. The home team, Westshore Rebels, 13. The visiting VI Raiders, 10. Spirited game at West Hill Stadium, and both teams make their way to the locker room, regroup, and we expect a very spirited second half of football here at West Hill Stadium.
Yeah, it was not a bad first half. There was, the penalty situation and then what happened over there in the sideline, kind of took away from some of the action that was going on. But I think at the end of the day, this game is exactly how it was going to play out. You're going to have that emotion involved. You're going to have some guys be stupid, some guys that keep their heads. You're going to have coaching decisions that you kind of look at and go, why would you do that? But it's just a good junior football game, and the winner is going to be decided in the second half, obviously.
Yeah, good first half. An injured receiver, Raider coming over gingerly to the sidelines here. It looks like North Rainey needing a little bit of medical attention here before the half. Again, a very spirited effort here by both teams, and I think halftime came at a good time, and it's an opportunity now to, with 30 seconds left, to leave all that stuff behind us and have a good second half, and it's not too long here and before we're back at it. Rebels just having a little bit of a talk before they likely head to their locker room. Rebel cheerleaders are coming out. As we mentioned off the top here, just before we take a couple minutes as the Rebels make their way over to the sidelines, earlier today we had the Langley Rams defeating the Kamloops Broncos 27-21. That game was in McLeod Stadium in Langley. And in Chilliwack at the Exhibition Stadium, the Okanagan Sun continued to their winning ways. Now sit atop the BCFC standings with the 6-0-1 record, and they beat the Valley Huskers 42-3. And the standings are tightening up as the playoffs loom, and we're excited for some football here down the stretch and into the playoffs.
The last part of the season always is a very, very interesting time as teams are jockeying for those playoff positions. And over the last few years in the BCFC, they're usually found early, the top 4 teams, but it's always come down to usually the last week of the season to find out who's going to be hosting playoffs, who takes first place.
Well, we'll take a break here at that halftime here. Again, once again, the score at bcfctv.com. The score of the Westshore Rebels 13, the VI Raiders 10. We will be back for the second half action here at West Hill Stadium.
TELUS presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, watch and record 4K at the same time. Can't decide which of your favorite 4K shows to watch, Susan? Well, with Pure Fiber, you can watch and record 4K simultaneously. TELUS Pure Fiber. TV reimagined.
There's a huge need for support for youth with mental health challenges. About 1 in 5 Canadians on any given day will be facing a mental health issue, and most of those experiences begin among teenagers and young adults. The Booster Buddy app project was incredibly important to us at Island Health. We have known for a long time that there was a need to provide help and assistance to people whenever they need it, wherever they are. Then we can help people get through moments of crisis, and we can help give them hope and a sense of ability that they can get through it. Young people who had mental health issues and their families brought them all together in one room and asked them what they wanted to get from a mental health app. Most of the vision and the story and the look and feel were really driven by them. That's a tremendously valuable thing that happened with the Booster Buddy project. It wasn't something created in an academic silo, but it was really a grassroots movement that tapped into that lived experience. We were working with a young man with psychosis. He was really struggling and needing to come into emergency frequently because of the severity of his symptoms. I asked him if he would try the app to give me some feedback. When he opened it, his face lit up and he said, "Wow, this is going to be a game." I asked him to use it for 2 weeks, and every day that week he would come by my office and tell me how the app had helped him. And he didn't visit the emergency those 2 weeks. I've had the privilege of hearing every day the impact it has on people's lives. That alone is astonishing.
This app kept me alive.
I'm 16 years old and struggling with mental illness. This app has really changed my life.
I wanted to let you know that I was in deep depression last year, but Booster Buddy helped me crawl out.
It's silly, but I actually cried the first time using the app.
With everything in me, I thank you. Thank you once again for saving my life.
I'd hoped that a few hundred people would install Booster Buddy here in Victoria, but since then we've had over 80,000 people use the app from countries all over the world, and they are saying that it's saving their lives. It's an astonishing experience to be able to have that kind of impact, and I want to thank Coast Capital Savings for allowing me to be a part of that and allowing Island Health to reach so many people all over the world.
My name is Chris Gress, and I am the brewmaster and partner in Red Arrow Brewing. We opened in June of last year, so we've just passed our first fiscal year. It's a pretty exciting and fun time for craft beer in BC in general, and we're very excited to be, the first microbrewery in the Cowichan Valley. We didn't really want to do things the way that most other breweries or a lot of other breweries like to do them, so we really kind of stuck with some of our ideas of some of the beer styles and our original arrangement of beers, and some of them have worked very well and some of them needed a little bit of tweaking, but overall I think it's really kind of paying off for us to kind of do things our own way in the marketing side and specifically the merchandising side. A lot of people say that our merchandising program is beyond what is really kind of expected for a brewery, but this is a really significant part of our business that we're very proud of. Well, we're open 7 days a week, and people can come in and get a tour. They can pick up some merchandising or read about local craft industry or learn a little bit about the area. Growler fills, we do just an extraordinary amount of growler fills. We invite food trucks in over the summer, and now we're running our own food truck Wednesday to Sunday, and we're just going to start incorporating that with different events in the valley and tourism. We have a local celebrity, if you will, Dan Hudson, who's joined us to put up some pretty exciting products from the food truck. He's a great chef. He's been on some national TV programs, Top Chef Canada and Chopped, I believe. Just a treat to work with another person that's just so passionate about the things that they do and the things that they create, and it just shows in the product that comes out. I really enjoy what I do, and we're really fortunate to have the people involved that we have involved. And I believe I've said already, it's a pretty exciting time for craft beer industry in BC and tourism in the Valley.
Welcome to Roll Focus Productions.
I'm Amanda and this is Mike, and we're here to help you create engaging video content.
We start with a face-to-face meeting to learn about your brand and the message you'd like to convey.
Then we work together to create a script that tells your story in an engaging and entertaining way.
Whether it's a standard studio setup, off-road with GoPros and gimbals, or in the air with our drone camera, we have the tools to capture the ultimate shot.
From there, we piece it all together in the Edit Suite, leveraging state-of-the-art software and a creative vision to bring your story to life.
And to cap it off, we have marketing plans to ensure your video lands on the timelines and feeds of the customers that matter most to you.
But why invest in a video at all?
Studies have shown that consumers are at least 64% more likely to purchase a product that has been laid out in a video.
And websites with professional video generate 4 to 7 times more engagement and response rates.
Simply put, video is the future of content marketing.
Have a first impression that also makes a connection and leaves your customers wanting more.
We've worked with some of the biggest brands in Canada, but our mission is simple.
Provide video at an affordable price for customers here at home.
So whether you're looking to promote your business, broadcast your event, or showcase your brand, let's get in touch.
Roll Focus Productions, video for Vancouver Island.
TELUS presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, crystal clear video chats. I see you're catching up with your brother, Jerry. Ooh, yikes. Look at the quality of that video chat. Did you know the upload and download speeds of pure fiber make chats so clear it would be like your brothers in the same room? TELUS Pure Fiber. Video chats reimagined.
On the play, Ennis's hands as he's pretty good on those short yard power situations. Hicks back into punt, rolls to his right, kicks right down the middle of the field. Good kick. Mayo's got it about his own 15, cuts to his left, gets a good block of play, makes a couple again. This is in the open field, only has Hicks to beat and the sidelines, and Hicks makes a good play, cutting him out and knocking him out of bounds.
I understand he stepped down as coach of the Calgary Colts. Be interesting.
Gordon sacked and dropped on the play after a 10-yard loss. The Raiders defense gets to him. Looks up, shotgun, looks to his right, pumps once. Now he goes down the field looking in the direction of Greenaway. He's got him down near the 15-yard line, scampers into the end zone. touchdown, Westshore Rebels. The Bears, second down, looks to his left, pressure comes again. He's rolls to his left and dragged down on the play, sacked on the play for about a loss of 9 on the play. As it looks like blocked on the play as pressure came in, picked up on the play by Yitna. He's going down the sidelines, makes a spin move into Raider territory and finally dragged down in front of the Rebel bench, probably down.
Welcome back, sports fans, to the Westfield Stadium in Langford for the game between the Westshore Rebels and the Vancouver Island Raiders. We're heading into the second half here with the Rebels holding a 13-10 lead. Very interesting first half with a lot of penalties for sure. We had the Raiders taking 14 penalties for 130 yards and the Rebels had 10 for 90 yards. Below their season average, mind you, but still the game is still young, if you will. It was a good first half. It was back and forth. There wasn't a lot of big action. We had a long pass for a touchdown. Borden hit Deshaun Greenaway for about a 50-yard pass. But it was the penalties and it was the turnovers that kept this game going back and forth and where the score it is with a 13-10 Rebel lead. Some of the statistics from the first half, the Raiders rushed for 64 yards, the Rebels 75. The Raiders were 6 of 18 for 126 yards throwing with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. The Rebels, Scott Borden, was 8 of 16 for 140 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. Rebels ground out 12 first downs and the Raiders had 8. So it sounds like I'll be going solo here for the start of the second half as our Tyler McLaren has been called to some league duties due to some of the trouble that went on the bench and some of the fallout from after. And we start the second half. We're going to have the Raiders receiving the ball to our right, and the Rebels will be kicking off on the left. As we said earlier, this game is a very important game for playoff positioning. A Raiders win now that the Rams won. A Raiders loss will push the Raiders into 4th place, and nobody likes a trip up into the interior in the fall in the event of a 4th place finish and a Sun 1st place finish. And then with the Raiders win, it puts pressure on the Rebels that they got to keep continuing to win to hopefully have a showdown with the Sun for 1st place. Kyle Clark kicking off. Bryson Mayo takes the ball at about his 15-yard line. Cuts up to his right, and he moves out to around his own 42-yard line. Pushed out of bounds. And get a man down on the Raiders' 25-yard line. Not sure who that is. Looks like number 20. Might be number 23. Is that Paisley? Looks like maybe number 25. Riley Caljow. Those Raiders were waiting for the injury to be sorted out. This is, to me anyway, this is an important drive for the Raiders to establish something in the second half, and hopefully the teams put away and put aside all the extracurricular and the negative stuff that comes along with the football game sometimes, and left that in the change room. They come out and play the next 30 minutes of good hard-nosed football. As I said earlier, this is the second game between these two. The first one in Nanaimo in week 2 on August 5th. It was a back-and-forth game similar to this. It wasn't as many penalties, though, but the game was a well-fought game. But it took a block kick, as a matter of fact, by Kent Hicks that was picked up by Chris Larson, number 7 on the Rebels, who scored the touchdown to get the Rebels going, and they ended up scoring 17 points, unanswered points, to take that game 27-25. We've got the injured player heading off the field. And it'll be first down for the Raiders at their own 40.5-yard line. Burge under center. Takes the snap, hands off to Williams, cuts up the middle. Again, another big hole up the middle for the Rebels, or for the Raiders. Number 21, Marcus Brown makes the tackle after about a 15-yard gain. Yeah, Red had a good game last week against the Okanagan Sun. He ran for, I think it was 137 yards, the first player this year to put over 100 against the Okanagan Sun. And again, the same type of plays. He's had good success in the first half, running up the middle against the Rebels. And I think it's one of those things that the Rebels are so quick defensively that running laterally, they're able to cover you and cut you off. But up the middle, you're sort of attacking them where they got to move their feet, and they can't move left or right. They've got to come forward, and sometimes you can get into the backfield and be into the second level before they're able to converge on top of you. Got Williams down, however. He did take a low tackle on that last one. It could be just a little blow towards the hip area. Maybe it's a shoulder, the way his left arm is hanging a little bit. But he's running off under his own steam. He's standing on the sidelines. Looks like he's talking to the head coach. He'll be all right. So the Raiders have first down just inside Rebels territory at their Rebels 54-yard line. The Birds under the center. Hands the ball off. Don't forget the number there. Number 31, who is Cannell Dingwell. That was a good run. Again, attacking right up the middle, picking up 5 yards. Good 4.5. Bringing up a second down on about 6. So this is one, again, this drive is an important drive. Try to get something out of this. You're either going to pin the Rebels deep, and then you let your defense try to create a turnover, or you can get in some sort of field goal position, or in a position you find somebody open, or somebody breaks a tackle and get a touchdown. Birds pass, getting big rush, and he just threw that one away. Rebels lead the league in sacks as a team, and Raiders, they're one of the teams, I think they're the second, giving up the second most, if I can remember correctly. They've given up, Okanagan's given up the second, Vancouver's given up the second amount of sacks at 15, and Rebels lead the league in sacks coming into this game with 19. So it's a good matchup that way, and they're the two top teams, ground gainers with Williams and Campbell in the game tonight too, in the league. Winnick here to punt. A good punt. Taken by number 13, Gilad Sharif, at about his 15-yard line, working to his right. And I think we got a penalty here for a legal block on the Rebels. Yeah, Sharif and Gagne weren't fighting for the ball, but they got in each other's way here. And you can see, I think, you got a legal block just right there on number 79. And then the tackle made by 3 or 4 Raiders coming in. So that block will move the ball back to approximately the 15-yard line. Oh, sorry, it's going to move it back to around the 10 based on where the flag came down. We got a clipping block, so that's a 15-yarder, so that's going to move it back to roughly the 5-yard line. So we're going to have Scott Borden at quarterback. Waiting for the sticks to line up here. That's where we can signal the play in. Head referee Heath Edelston ready to go. Whistles it in, Borden and shotgun. That was one. Little pitch out to number 4, Trey Campbell on the option. Oh, he broke that tackle by number 43. There was Tyler Hill. Tyler tried to tackle him up too high, and Campbell just kept his legs going and spun out of it. Picks up approximately, a good 20-yard run on that one. You see on the replay here, he gets up around the head, but he just keeps the momentum of the spin allowed him to roll, push Hill off the block. There's another good run on this last play by Brad Innes. Right up the middle again. About a 14-yard run for a first down. You can see on the replay here, it's just right up the middle, breaking tackles before number 7 Hardesty came across McNally Hardesty to make the tackle. McNally Hardesty, number 7's down on the play. definitely got hurt on the tackle. It looks the way he's holding his right arm as if he might have hurt his shoulder on that side, because he didn't make the tackle pretty low and he took a knee onto the shoulder, on the shoulder pad right close to the collarbone area. I would suspect that it looks like a shoulder for sure, the way he's holding his arm. But I would suspect that the Rebels here, they want to try to reestablish the line of scrimmage, get in a position where they can start pushing the defenders off the ball and get the backs into the backfield, and they've had good success with it. They've been picking up probably 7 or 8 yards a run this game so far. Innes again, working to his left, and Quentin Bowles sniffed that one out and slows down the run before the linebackers can help, with number 1 Dexter Shea in there. That's going to bring up a second down and about maybe 9. The ball at the Rebel 40-yard line. Raiders have been playing pretty good football. They lost to the Sun, got beat up pretty good 2 weeks ago before the bye, and then last week a little moral victory with the tie up in Kelowna. And that gives you some extra spark. But this game alone just is circled on everybody's schedule because of the rivalry these two teams have and the intensity that they play at. Borden in the shotgun. Oh, wide open, number 13. That was Assad Gilford Sharif. Wide open over the middle and just couldn't grab it. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. I'm sure a funny situation. See on the replay here, Borden sees him and he's wide open on the quick little post battering over the middle. Just a bit too much heat on the ball and Sharif couldn't get his hands on it. So it looks like Kent Hicks is coming in to punt. And Mr. Return, Bryson Mayo deep for the Raiders. He'll have his heels on about the 25-yard line, and Kent will be kicking the ball from his 40. I'm sure he'll work to his right here as he's done the entire game so far. That's almost blocked. Mayo takes down about his 35-yard line, cuts up the middle, breaks it back to his right before he's tackled by number 26 of the Rebels, and that is Malik Warmack. That's a pickup of about 25 yards, 30 yards. Yeah, Kent got hit on that one, but he was a little slow in releasing the ball, and it wasn't like a malicious attack to try to block it, and he just had his leg up, the guy rolled into him, and then Kent Hicks is a pretty good actor too, so he's trying to get the referee to throw the flag. Anyhow, the Raiders take over at their own 54-yard line, 1st and 10. LeBurge still a quarterback. He's got 3 receivers to his left, under center. Hands off on a counter trade to Rhett Williams. With the guards pulling around, he picks up about 6 yards on the play to bring up a 2nd and 4. It's always a standard play in junior football playbooks where you're going to pull the backside guard and backside tackle and try to create some down blocks. Kick out with the first tackle, and the guard turns up to pin a linebacker. Everybody has that one in their playbook. Big, fairly tame start of the second half here. We're 10 minutes into it. The clock is running. 2nd down and 4, 2nd down and 5 for the Rebels. Quick pass, number 81. That's Adam Finnick, sorry. There's a 1st down, there's an 18-yard gain. Just a quick little slant, catching the area, the zone. If you're playing man-to-man, there's going to be a little area open. If you're playing zone, there's always going to be an area open, and if you throw it quick enough before the player runs, especially in the zone, before he runs to the zone, he's going to be open. Now the Raiders chipping away here. Ball 1st and 10 at the Rebels' 34-yard line. LeBurge under center. 3 receivers to his right. Hand off to Rhett Williams, number 24, right up the middle. He's at the 5, down to about the 1-yard line. He's down, they're calling him down at the 1. That's a good run again, just a quick hitter right up the middle. He's had success with that all night. And on that play there, it was such a quick hitter that he was able to get into the linebackers, but I think before the linebackers saw what happened. And in a situation where it was 2nd down and 6 there, I think that they were looking at it. Sorry, that was a first down. So it was a first down. They might have been looking at a different type of play, obviously. The Rebels geared for something different. See 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Raiders knocking on the door at the 1-yard line.
Come on, we got to fire up the defense now. Get those thunder feet going, come on.
Deshaun Dingwell at fullback, and Rhett Williams at halfback. Hand off to Williams, up the middle, in for the touchdown. So that's Rhett Williams' first touchdown of the game. That's also his 4th touchdown of the season. Still get some John going on, if you can get the kids to not worry about the extracurricular stuff. And here you just see a straight handoff. Dingwell makes a block right up the middle. If you get the push from the O-line, usually that play works all the time. Number 10, James Parker in for the convert. Try the convert. Score right now is 16-13 for the Raiders. With the convert to come. Kick is good. Puts it up over the net into the pond. Another football for the Frogs out there. So our score with 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Here, there's a Vancouver Island Raiders 17, Westshore Rebels 13. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by Remax, bringing you all the action this year in BCFC. Right from the beginning, all playoffs, Cullen Cup will all be broadcast on BCFC, powered by Remax.
Hoodies, t-shirts, all over there. Give it away to Cam Smith, our team videographer up on the left, courtesy of VI Rentals.
So again, now the Raiders, James Parker kicking off from our right to left. And deep for the Rebels, looks like number, way it's dark out that corner of the field, it's hard to see. I don't know if that's number 20, 24, Daniel Clark, Kane Stevenson, or not Kane Stevenson, I'm sorry. Yitten has been ejected from the game. That's number 25 for the Rebels, Brad Innes. He's deep, on the breaks to his left and pushed out of bounds on the tackle by number 48 of the Raiders. That's Dylan Neufeld. Looks like he's out of bounds at around the 18-yard line. So that puts the Rebels a little bit in a hole. You expect to try to always get the ball to the 30 or 35. So I would think their game plan is probably like the last set of series, get the ball into the hands of Trey Campbell. He's been ripping off about 10 yards a run every time he touches the ball today. And complimented by Brad Innes, who's also picking up some pretty good yardage when he runs the football. So Rebels 1st and 10 at about their, looks like, I guess 16, 17-yard line. Borden under the center. He's got 3 receivers to his right. The handoff to Campbell right up the middle for a gain of about 2. He ran right into number 1 linebacker Dexter Shea. And with some help from inside from Brody Taylor, and Quentin Bowles was there. He got 2nd down and maybe about 8.5. It's going to be important down here for the Raiders, that they can hold them here. They get the ball back in pretty good field position. Rebels have always been a 4th quarter team, so you're never going to rule them out. Here, Borden's in the shotgun on 2nd down with got 4 receivers to his right. And he's going to take off on the quarterback draw. Always a good call when he calls his own number. He's got the sideline. He's going to go. He's going to score. Oh, he dropped the ball. I'm not sure what happened here. I think, did they rule him out of bounds? I'm not sure exactly what happened. You can see on the replay here that it was a design play call the entire way, and Scott just takes off, and he's being chased down by number 29. That's Jeremy Chang. And he knocks the ball out, and Josh Paisley picks it up here, but the referees blew the whistle. But I guess they called him out of bounds because all they gave him is a first down run back here at the Rebels' 37-yard line. So again, same formation, Scott in shotgun. And he's got 4 receivers to his right, Campbell to his right, and hands back to Trey Campbell up the middle. Pick up about 7 yards, tackled by number 98, Brody Taylor. Again, every time this kid touches the ball, it's 6, 7, 8 yards a run. He could bring up about a 2nd and 3. At the 30, at the 44-yard line. Three receivers, Borden's right, 2 to the left, Campbell in the background, Gordon in shotgun. Campbell takes off to his left, and he is tackled down by number 6 of the Raiders, Sean, not after a gain of about 15 yards. Again, just a play where they pull a guard, they hand him the ball. If you can see on the replay here, he just takes a handoff. 75, Krause comes around the corner, buries Quentin Bowles, 99, and that allows Campbell either to cut outside it or cut up inside the block. And it's been positive yardage every time they run this tonight. So that gives them first down. They're in Raiders territory at the Raiders' 53-yard line. 1st and 10, 3 receivers to Borden's right. He's under center. Again, handoff to Campbell, right up the middle, slips the block. Tackled down and behind by number 79. That's Doyle Westland. Just grabs him from behind. But again, a positive run, a 12-yard gain. Just right up the middle. The O-line, the Rebels' offensive line is starting to establish something here, and they're starting to control the D-line of the Vancouver Island Raiders. That gives the Rebels first down at the Raiders' 40. Important drive here. Rebels obviously want to score. They're down by 4, 17-13 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Quick pitch out to Campbell, following number 75. That's Christian Krause, all-Canadian Christian Krause, and he picks up about 2. The Raiders kind of snuffed that one out, and as Krause made his block, there was a linebacker that was free that was missed by one of the receivers that was able to trip up Campbell on that play. Limited him to about a yard and a half gain. Bringing up second down and about 8. Long 8, sure. Clock running, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Rebels break the huddle. They've got Borden in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Trey Campbell out on the route, straight down the middle. That's the ball passed off to number 1, Deshaun Greenaway. And that's a first down. He went to his left on that one, and Greenaway was just standing there all alone as he ran his route. For a pickup of around 22 yards. That moves the ball down to approximately the 13-yard line of the Raiders. Gives the Rebels a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. You can see in the replay there, he's wide open. Another step, maybe he would have scored, but gave him the fresh set of downs. You start over, you're in scoring territory right now. Here's a diamond formation by the Rebels as they break the huddle with 4 receivers to Borden's left. He's looking back to Greenaway, who's running the corner route on the left side. It was right in his hands as he backed up there, and it just was knocked out at the last second by number 28. That was Alex Eberling. It's one of those things that you're backing away. You're going to wait for the ball to come to you, or you don't want to come back to the receiver because you could be called, or back through the defender, you could be called for interference. But you can see on the replay here, he's waiting, and it's right in his arms, but he was able to get his left arm free. They get 2 hands on it, and he was trying to corral it with 1, but we do have a penalty flag down, and I think it might be against the Raiders for possibly it's either pass interference or illegal contact on a receiver. See what the Rebel or Heath Heddleson, the head official, has to say. Oh, it looks like it's a holding penalty against the Rebels, at least with the signal I saw. Unless there was another one. Oh, it's a 15. What? 20? What do they got? We got an ejection. Number 10 from the Rebels has been ejected. That's a 25-yard penalty. Not sure what precipitated that, why he was ejected. That's the second player this evening from the Rebels that has been ejected from the game. That's Austin Lindo Brow. Not sure what happened there. Obviously, he did something to be ejected from the game. It's kind of like, well, I can see that if the officials are going to put the thumb down on the game, you've got to do something pretty bad to be ejected from the game. And I'm sure the league will look at these two ejections, and they, and the players, it could cost them to be sitting out next game as well, an important game against the Langley Rams. And you got to keep your head in this game. It's one of these sports that it's all about being a man. It's not about being you. It's about being part of a team and being a man. Stand up and take authority, but take it in the proper way. Anyhow, so the Rebels, that's a loss of down as well. It's a loss of 25 yards, so that brings up second down and a whole bunch, 30, 25, 35 yards. They can still get a first down if they get the ball inside the 2-yard line, I believe 3-yard line, first down. 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. Raiders leading 17-13. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by Remax. Referees have sorted it all out. Going to make some adjustments now on the Rebel side. That's two receivers they've lost this evening. Important pieces to this offense. So again, Borden in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to his right. He's got Campbell in the tight receiver inside. He's got Brad Innes at the fullback, number 25. And he's got Deshaun Greenaway, the lone receiver, to his left. Raiders in a 2 deep, prevent the long pass here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rebels try to run and kick a field goal. They're Borden over the middle to Campbell. And that's a catch for about a 7-8 yard gain, and that'll bring up third down. It looks like Kyle Clark will come on for a field goal try, which will be about a 37-yarder. His longest this year is kicked 2 for 46 yards, so it's well within his range. In a way, that ball that close, a Raider victory on that ejection and penalty. A good field goal here keeps the Raiders still in front. This will be about a 37-yard field goal try. Good snap. Ball's down. It's kicked to the left. Mayo takes the ball in the end zone. Oh, he caught the ball over the deadline, so it's a single point. And that'll move the ball over to the 35-yard line, but that single point could prove to be something important later on, because the Raiders Rebels now are only down by 3 points. So the Raiders will take the football, 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. So it'll be interesting here. This is an opportunity for the Raiders to move the football, do something positive with it, come away with the points they did on the last drive. They were able to drive half the field after a good punt return. It allowed them to score. Rhett Williams on a 1-yard run. Inside play here. Rhett Williams again running to his left. Following the guard again. That's a little counter trade that all the teams run. And that was a pickup, a good pickup, maybe 3 yards, but a positive gain. Following number 69 from the Raiders, a pretty big man, Cody Upton. He made a block, but I think he fell down, and it's a while for those big guys to get back up off the ground. That brings up a second down and about 7. Coming up on a minute left in the third quarter. Raiders leading 17-14. A little more tamer this second half. Not many penalties. The only one I could think of, there was an offside and that ejection. Quarterback rollout. That was a nice catch. I think that's for a first down. It looks like it's definitely a first down, but number 18, Alex Bonneblum. Well, it looks like they're going to measure it. Yeah, from my vantage point, it looks like a first down, but the officials want to make sure they're the ones that have the final say on all this stuff, obviously. And the long trek across the field for the stick crew. There's Shane Beattie there, coaching the red. He's yapping at head referee Heath Edelston. He's saying, move the ball back a bit, just move it back a bit, oh, just the back.
Work schedules and job security as a proud sponsor of the Westshore Rebels. Also like to thank Nortec Exteriors.
Well, that's a slow crew walking across that field, holy cow.
Message support for this fine local business. That's Nortec Exteriors. And thank you again to the amazing Rebels.
Yeah, got first down, so that gives the Raiders a new life, fresh set of downs. Ball's going to be at their own 45.5-yard line. .40 seconds left in the third quarter. So change their set. The head official, Heath Edelston, will whistle it in. It's one of the things about junior football. It's difficult to get kids or individuals to look after the chains, that understand the game and follow the directions of the head linesman. And that slows down the game quite a bit, to be honest with you. And it's one of the things that's happening now. They don't know where they got to go. I think the chain came apart. So it's one of those things that has to be fixed. And they don't, these kids that are doing the chains this evening just aren't really, I don't feel, on top of the ball. But again, I'm not the one down there doing that. So we got first down. Ball at the 46.5-yard line. The Burge under center. Hands off to Williams, going to his right on a nice play by number 8, Byron McKinnon. Stepped up there as linebacker and said, "You're not coming here, pal," and just made a swift tackle. Broke into the backfield. Very nice play. That's for a loss of about 1.5 yards. You can see here as he moves to his left, he just slipped right through where the guard pulled, and nice tackle up high, chest to chest. Exactly what you teach. That brings up second down, a little bit of loss. So second down and short 11, long 10 if you want to call. This will be the final play of the third quarter, barring penalty. LeBurge in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right. He's looking that way. Throws a quick dart out to number 18. I'm not sure if they call that incomplete. Yeah, it was incomplete pass. That pass was to Alex Bonaplum, and incomplete pass. So that's going to bring up a third down punting situation after we change the end. So the score at the end of the third quarter is the Vancouver Island Raiders 17, the Westshore Rebels 14. And thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by Remax, as we bring you BCFC action every Saturday and sometimes Sunday as the Okanagan Sun play. All right, these next plays we got Brandon Gagne and for the Rebels, number 3, and I can't see that number. Is that number 13 Ashad Gilfer Sharif? Probably is. Deep for the Rebels. Number 37, that's Nick Hunchak kicking. Ball will be snapped from approximately the 46-yard line, or sorry, 44-yard line. So a good field position on a good return here for the Rebels, which would be a good start for them to start the fourth quarter. This is the quarter that they excel in, the fourth. They score a lot of points in the fourth quarter. Clock is set, whistled in. Unchecked into the ball, off the side of his foot to Gagne. He picks it up at about his 35. There'll be no yards penalty, and he's tackled immediately by number 48. That's Dylan Neufeld for the Raiders. But again, a no yards penalty. The ball hit the ground, so it'll be 5 yards. They'll probably move it up to roughly the 41-yard line. So it's going to give got a penalty flag down as well. That was, for the no yards. So now we got the Rebels 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Those guys moving the sticks up and down the field with the Wildcats. Thank you, volunteers.
Rebels break the huddle with 3 receivers to Borden's right. Deshaun Greenaway, lone receiver to his left. Scott Borden in the shotgun. Nice move by Scott Borden there on the option play. He was going to run the option to his left, and he had Trey Campbell wide open, but he made the fake on that, and he picked up a good 7-8 yards on that. You can see there he missed the play there, but he can't cut back. He had the hole before Quentin Bowles made the tackle on him, but as he made the play coming to his left, the defender overran him, and that's why he was able to get that positive yardage on that play. So that brings up a second down and about 3 yards for the Rebels. Borden under center. Raiders 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. 3 receivers to Borden's left. Innes in the backfield. Borden again on the call. Takes it himself, runs forward, gets back up since he landed on a player. Picks up about 7 yards on the run, a very nice run. Again, design play, just Scott Borden taking the ball, making the fake, finding the hole and zipping up inside it. On that one there, he landed on top of the Raiders defender as he's being tackled, but he wasn't actually on the ground. You'll see here as he's laying on top of him, and he's able to get back up again before the rest of the troops arrived that put him down for good. So that gives the the Rebels a first down. They're at midfield. Again, they break the huddle with 3 receivers to Scott Borden's left. Deshaun Greenaway, the closest receiver to the bottom of the screen. We've looked at him a couple times tonight. That was a quick pass through number 13's hands. That's Assad Gilshad Sharif. Just a little bit too much zip on the ball, and he wasn't able to squeeze it. Just on a quick little hook, about a 7-yard hook. And an incomplete pass could bring up second down at midfield. 13 minutes, 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's a big down here for the Rebels. 2nd and 10. Break the huddle with Borden in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to his left. Back to pass. He's got lots of pressure, throws the ball, and again overthrows. Running to his right, he threw the ball, and Nate Skate, number 23, is just over his head, so that's going to bring up 3rd down. Again, the Raiders flush them out, but he's throwing on the run, but he's not turning up the throw, so it's very difficult unless you get your hips square, the line of scrimmage, and your shoulders square to complete passes as you're moving left or right. But he's such a good athlete. He's got very deceptive speed, and he's got great elusiveness. So Ken Hicks is in the punt, ball at the 55-yard line, and Bryson Mayo deep with his heels standing on about the 15, his own 15. Hicks to his right, kicks the ball. Mayo's going to field it at about the 22. Breaks the first tackle. And we got a flag down, and he steps over. He stepped over number 35, Aiden Enns Horvath. You can see here he catches the ball, and as he's moving, he gets trapped, but he breaks the tackle here. And then he wants to step over top of the potential. That's number 26, who he jumped over top of. That's Malik Womack before Enns brought him down. Oh, we had a block, legal block there on the Raiders. It's going to move the ball back, and they'll be starting at about their own 15-yard line, 14.5-yard line. So nullified return for Mayo. But again, no harm, no foul. If you're looking from the Raiders sideline, it's no score from the Rebels on that drive. Now it's time for the Raiders to put the pedal to the metal, if you will, and grind out some first downs here. Use the clock and come away with some points. LaForge under center. Hands off to Williams. Breaks the first tackle. And the ball's on the ground. He fumbled. It looks like the Rebels have recovered. The ball ripped out. I wasn't sure who ripped it out. It looked like Chris Larson, number 7, might have got his hands on that to rip it out. And it was number 7. Larson ripped it out, and number 52. Number 52 of the Rebels, that's Tanner Hayward, picks up the fumble and gives a great opportunity here for the Rebels to take the lead. The turnover happening at around the 17-yard line, looks like, 17-yard line. Great opportunity here for the Rebels to take the lead here. Again, this is usually their quarter. They've been very, very successful in the fourth quarters this entire season.
First and 10 on the 17.
So it's a first and 10 at 17-yard line. We're waiting for the chains to get situated here before the referee blows the play in. Trey Campbell in behind Borden, who's in the shotgun, steps out and he's in the pistol. Hands it off to Campbell up the middle. Makes the first guy kind of miss, but finally Dexter Shea, number 1, brings them down. He's running into a lot of the front seven, but they've had success with that play where they've been able to take Scott Borden and run him around the end on that as the end crashes down. He just keeps the ball. That's a gain of about a yard, if that. Bring up a second and long 9. Again, 4 receivers move out to Borden's right. Deshaun Greenaway bottom of the screen here on the left. Enos stepping up for protection. He's looking to Greenaway the entire way. He catches the ball at the 6. Gets the first down, knocked out of bounds at about the 3-yard line for a first down. Put the Rebels in scoring position right off the bat. Nice catch, nice play. Just an out. Just a run a deep out, 12-yard out, make the catch. And a good pass. He breaks it off. Obviously the Raiders are being cautious. They don't want him in the end zone. Everybody's making changes with the ball first and 10, and looks like about the 2-yard line. Borden under center. He's got Campbell behind in the tail position. Hands off to Campbell, up the middle, flags down. Campbell scores, but there are flags down. Could be too many men on the field. Where it came from, there could be too many men. Not sure who against. There was a lot of substitutions late on that one. But if the touchdown stands, that gives the Rebels a lead. It'll be 20-17. Too many men against the Raiders, obviously declined. That's a touchdown. Rebels give them the lead, 20-17, with the convert to come. Kyle Clark coming on the field now to try the convert attempt.
Rebels 11-13. Fourth quarter. Now 20-17, football fans. What a game this is turning out to be.
Ready to go here. Play's been whistled in. Snaps down. Flags on the play. And the convert is good. But we've got flags on the play, and not sure what those are. What's coming from there? It's either offside, probably offside Raiders.
Flag on the play.
And that's what's signaled offside on the Raiders. That'll be a decline. It'll be 1 point, and they'll add that, I think, to the kickoff. So that's going to bring it up to kicking off for the Rebels from their own 50-yard line. So that makes the score 21-17 with 11 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. You're in another good football game here at West Hill Stadium. These island rivals going at it. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by Remax. You might be one of the 7 people watching this one tonight. So Clark's going to tee the ball up from his own 50-yard line. Again, Bryson Mayo is deep, along with, I do my other list here, Xander Bailey, number 2. And their heels are going to be at about the 5-yard line. Clark in the boot, kicks it off, pushing Mayo to about his 4-yard line. He takes the ball, cuts up the middle, makes a couple players miss. And before he's tackled down hard there at the end of the play. That was by number 11 on the Rebels. Deshaun Kerr made a nice rough tackle, put him on the ground. And obviously everybody does just say something to him when he's down there. You just say, gotcha. See here, it's just make guys miss, and number 11, just wrap him up, make the tackle. There he's talking to him, I gotcha. Okay, Raiders football, their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10. They got to answer that last play. This is important drive for these guys. First play pass to number 18, Alex Bonneplum. Close to first, not close to first down, about an 8-yard gain, 7.5-yard gain. I'll bring up 2nd and 3. Good start. Yeah, anytime you get over 5 yards on first down, that you feel good about that. Put you in a situation where you got a choice now, run or pass.
What do you think about this defensive team out there?
Well, the Birds coming out, looks like he's going up under center. I would suspect that the handoff to Williams here. Good call, too long in the huddle possibly if they keep going here. There's Williams up the middle. Breaks out to his right before he gets the first down and gets knocked down by number 8, Byron McKibben. But he gets the first down. No flags on the play. So they'll scrimmage from their own 36-yard line. 1st and 10. Clock running, 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Here we go. Let's fire up the defense one more time. Come on, make some noise.
And the Raiders break the huddle. Oh, we got a chain problem. The chain's been broken, so we've got a little bit of a delay here. I'm not sure what the, again, I think the young guys sometimes don't understand the game quick enough to make it work. And then if you also have chains that keep falling apart, it gets a little frustrating for the official. Player whistled in. The Birds in the shotgun. Looks to his left. Deep pass. Oh, that was to number 18, Bonneplum again, and right in his hands, and unfortunately dropped it. So that's coming up 2nd and 10. Again, the ball at the Raiders' 36-yard line. Three receivers to the Birds' right. Got Williams standing next to him in the backfield. One receiver to his left. Max protection is down the middle. Yeah, that was an overthrow. He was throwing it to Mayo, and it overthrew it, and he right in the arms of Malik Warmack. He was playing deep. They were, obviously you got Mayo, Bryson Mayo out there. You're going to keep him as deep as he is, and he was just in his overthrow here. You can see here in the replay, he looked that way completely, right down the middle. It was just an overthrow into Womack's arms, and with the turnover, gives the Rebels the football inside Raiders territory at the Raiders' 52-yard line. And this is an opportunity here for the Rebels to control the clock. They have the lead, up 21-17, 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. A little back pitch to Trey Campbell. Breaks the first tackle, breaks the second tackle, and pushes number 1, Dexter Shea. But boy, he's strong. Very, very strong running back. Great vision. But we have a flag on the play. It's probably a holding penalty against the Rebels or some sort of illegal block, but it's after yards gained, so I would assume that the Raiders will take the penalty, obviously. Push them back 10 yards from the penalty spot. Call illegal. Oh, I think there's probably a tandem buck where you start pushing you can't push the player from behind. So I'm sure that's what the penalty was. So that moves the ball back 10 yards, but that was after yards gained, so it is a first down. Rebels have the football on the Raiders' 40. 8 minutes, 36 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you can't push the guy behind. In the NFL, you can, but in the CFL, or in BC Junior and the CJFL, you can't push the player from behind. They call that a tandem buck. Clock is rolling. 3 receivers to Gordon's right. He's looking that way. He's got somebody down the middle. That's Campbell. He overthrows him with another penalty flag down. That could be, I think it might be offside against the legal procedure against the Rebels. So I'm sure they'll push them back, put them in a 1st and 15, keep them out of field goal range.
Thank you.
We're thinking that's what the plan is. I think the officials are thinking that way too, but not sure if the Raiders have actually said we're going to push them back. They are, so it's going to bring up a 1st down and 15. The ball will be at the Raiders' 45-yard line. So get things sorted out. Referee will blow it in. The chains are set.
Millstream Self-Storage for proudly supporting local sports.
So this is a big set of this big series for the Rebels and the Raiders. Raiders want to come away here with no damage against them. Rebels obviously want to use up the clock and score. There's a Gordon on the option again. A nice fake. They run that play very, very well, and with both the runners out there with Gordon and Campbell, pick one. Both of them have the great eyes. They look at it on the replay here. You can see he pulls the ball back in as the end dives down, and then as soon as he makes the pitch, he just Raiders out of position, find a little hole, get up inside it. You got to pick up enough for 1st down. Gives the Rebels 1st down at the Raiders' 28.5-yard line. 7:35, clock rolling, left in the 4th quarter. The handoff to Brad Innes, number 25, chugging away, picking up 3-4 yards. You know, as a Raiders defense, you got to be a little tired right now. You've been doing a lot of running over the last couple series. You're back on the field pretty quick after that interception as well, so you're going to be breathing a little bit of deep air. So you got 2nd down and about 7 yards, 7.5 yards. Ball at the 26-yard line. Rebels well in scoring range. For kicker Kyle Clark if needed. Gordon to pass. Out to Deshaun Greenaway. Takes a few Raiders to bring him to the ground. Number 26, Riley Cowjow was on the tackle. Got some help from Jeremy Chang, not before there was a 1st down. That's going to move the ball up and is going to give the Rebels 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 13-yard line. And you can see on the replay there, he just breaks off that route. Just get the 1st down, make the catch, get the 1st down. And whatever happens after that, when the contact's made, that's all bonus yards. So Borden in the shotgun. Innes is behind him. He's got 4 receivers to his right. Greenaway to his left. Hand off to Innes, going to his left. Slips the tackle with number 98, Brody Taylor, before he's brought down by, looks like number 20. Didn't get his number, number 43, Tyler Hill, make the tackle. Not before he picked up around 8 yards. He got about 6 yards, I guess. So that'll bring up both 2nd and 4.
Don't forget the next Rebels game is Fan Appreciation.
That was a good run. Again, one of those ones that you keep them, everybody guessing. They've been running that play all evening. They've had success with it, where either Borden hands it off, depending on what the defensive end does, or he keeps it himself. Here again, coming out with 4 receivers to his right. Ball's at about the 7-yard line. Shotgun, looking for Greenaway. Oh, he had it in his hands, and he just dropped it. He ran a nice route just in the end zone, curled back to the goal line, and it was a good pass, but it was just good. He just couldn't squeeze it. And he's got the ball, and it just slipped right through his hands. He might have been thinking about who was coming up from behind him, but it just went through his hands, hit his chest, and down his body. So that's going to bring in Kyle Clark for the field goal try. It's going to be about a 16-yarder. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by Remax. Got a pretty dandy game going here. 21-17 for the Rebels, with 3 points possible coming here on this play. It's kicked wide left for a single point. That's 2 he's missed this evening. He's a little more accurate than that, but Single point. So that makes the score 22-17. It still allows the Raiders an opportunity here to score a touchdown and for a victory if if they're so lucky. So they're going to take the ball over at their own 35-yard line. Time for them to do some positive things. Clock's running on them here. You don't want to get yourself too far out. Yeah, again, we're having some problems with the stick crew here getting it organized. Clock's running, 5:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Verge under center, shotgun, hands off to Williams. Williams breaks to his left. It's a good tackle by number 21, Marcus Brown, to limit the gain to about an 8-yard run. It's a good run. It's a Williams run. Bring up a second and long, second and 3. Burge in the shotgun. Williams to his left, and number 3 to Sean Dingwell. They're missing a man, so they had to call a timeout. So with 4 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the game, the Rebels leading 22-17. The Raiders take a timeout. It's been a good fourth quarter so far. It's been back and forth. The Raiders had a chance. They did take the lead early in the third quarter to go up, but the Rebels have responded twice now with 2 singles and a touchdown to take the lead. Crowds inside, a good crowd here tonight. I would suspect maybe around close to 1,000, I would think, maybe somewhere in there. I always draw good crowds between these two because you get the fans that drive down from Up Island. And being a night game, everybody loves night games out here. You don't get to play them that often. So we're ready to go, second down and 3. The ball at the Raiders' 42.5-yard line, 43-yard line. The Verge in the shotgun. Hands off to Williams. He cuts back to his left. Finds a hole, and before he's brought down after a big gain by number 17, Robbie Lowe's. That puts the ball right center field, just into Rebels territory. 4:20 in the clock running. Raiders in a hurry-up offense. Under center now is LeBurge. He's got Williams deep at the tailback position. Hands off to Williams. Got a flag down. He stepped right into number 8, Byron McKinnon. Yeah, Byron read that. Sooner or later, somebody reads it and is going to cut it down, but not before you're going to pick up a few yards. But there is a hold here against the Raiders. Not a good time to have a penalty like that, but once you're running on the ground, your guys, the big guys, get tired, and sometimes they get their hands where they shouldn't be. You get too much cloth or get the hands outside the frame, and the flag will come down. And they all understand that. So that moves the ball back 10 yards. It's going to be first down over. First and 20 from the Raiders' 45-yard line. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go. The clock's running. Rebels ahead 22-17. LeBurge in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right. He's looking to his right. That was a nice pass. Pick up half the yardage back. That was the number 18. That's Alex Bonafum. So that's going to bring up second down and about 12. Again, they're in a hurry up. 3:40 to go. Clock's running.
Those guys are real close to you right now, so...
LeBurge running back into the huddle after he got the play. He's going to have 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, 2 players in the backfield. Maximum protection. Throws a quick out to number 81. That's Adam Finnick. And he picks up about 5 on the play. It's going to leave them about 3rd down and 8. 3rd and long 7. They're going to punt the ball here. Still lots of time left. They got to rely on their defense. Rolling down. A 3-minute warning is going to be coming up in a second or 2. Head official Keith Edelson stops the clock to signal the 3-minute warning. The officials will huddle up to make sure that they've got all the last 3-minute plays organized as far as what's inbounds, out of bounds, and from a timing standpoint. So the Raiders will be kicking from their own, or just on the, from the Rebels 53-yard line. Deep is number 13, Assad Gil Sharif, and looks like number 3, Brandon Gagne.
Raiders 37.
Moving the clock back to 3 minutes even. Nick Hunchak to punt. This is where you need some good coverage. If you're the Raiders, and for the Rebels, you need a really good return here. Oh, nice punt. That's over Sharif's head. That's going to bound into the end zone. Single point. And no yards. So that's no points taken. And the no yards penalty be a 5-yard no yards penalty to move the ball out to the 30, it'd be to the 40-yard line. So the Rebels will start at their own 40, I would think, at this point. Single point really didn't matter. Raiders still have to score a touchdown.
Just waiting for the call here.
This is where the officials talk this over. Penalties in the end zone sometimes cause us some confusion. So I'm not sure what the discussion is. There was a flag for no yards, obviously. So I guess maybe the question is, to the Rebels, do you want the no yards penalty, or do you want to give them the single? I'm not sure what's going on there. There was no single point given. The ball's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. I guess that's the choice. The choice was 25-yard line, but you gave up. If you give up the single, you get the ball at the 35.
So after this game is over, we're going to
So anyhow, so we got 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game. Rebels have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Scott Borden in the shotgun at this point. He's got Trey Campbell behind him. He's got 4 receivers to his left. Deshaun Greenaway, lone receiver to his right. Hand off to Campbell up the middle. And he's pulled down by number 99, Quentin Bowles, after a gain of around 4 yards. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. That's 3 yards, 2nd and 7. 2:37 to go in the game. Raiders got to get the ball back. That's the number 1 priority right now. At some point, you got to get your hands on the ball, create something defensively. Hold the Rebels here to make them punt. You're going to should get some decent field position. Clock is rolling, 2:25 to go in the game. 2nd down and 7. Rebels passing. Greenaway with the reception after a pickup of, looks like, just short of a 1st down. So ball's going to be at about the 34-yard line. So decision here for the Rebels. 2:17 to go in the game. Sure, they have 3rd and 1. Good 3rd and 1. Looks like they're going to go for it. Clock's rolling, 2:14. I think Borden's going to keep this one himself. Not sure whether he got that 1st down or not. The way the officials are coming in, it's just a quarterback sneak. But I think one of the officials has got his feet down. If the ball touches the 35-yard line in any way, it'll be a 1st down. See where he puts the ball. Yep. That's a 1st down for the Rebels. Clock in their favor, 2:05 to go. They just grind out a 1st down. Clock will run on the whistle. Raiders, I think, have 1 timeout left. They can stop the clock at 1 point. The second half's been a completely different game than the first half. All the testosterone, I guess, was used up. And it's been pretty tame this whole second half. Borden under center, hand off to Campbell up the middle. Breaks to his right. Again, just a tough run, picking up 6 yards. Moves the ball ahead to the 41-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. Minute 48 to go. Rebels almost, they get a 1st down here, they can pretty well roll this clock down and walk away with their 6th straight win, move their record to 6-1, looking and rolling towards a showdown with the Okanagan Sun in the final game of the season for 1st place and the opportunity to host possible Cullen Cup game. Borden under center, Again, hand off to Campbell up the middle. Grinding away, just crosses him. Looks like it's pretty close to the first down. Minute 28 to go. I'm sure they're going to go for it. If it isn't, it is a first down. So I think that's the ball game. The clock is in the Rebels' favor. Scores in Rebels' favor, and they have the football. They got 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Again, you're going to see Campbell. I think just a steady diet of Campbell or Innes on these last plays, but Gordon in the shotgun here. I'm thinking this might be their option look here. He's got 3 receivers to his left. He's got the option, pitches out to Campbell. Campbell turns the corner, gets in the backfield. I think they got a flag down. It can either be a holding penalty, but it looked like they might have got a hold of his face mask when they're trying to make the tackle. Either that or it could have been one of those horse collar type where they got a hold of the back of his jersey. Now they're calling it holding against the Rebels. That was a nice play. He just attacked the right side, faked it, Innes going up the middle, and a quick little pitch. You're in the backfield. You can fire it backwards and forwards since you're in the backfield. But it was after yards were gained, so that's going to bring up a first down. Minute 5 to go. You still have first down. Sure, a little bit of confusion here again with the officials on the down box. He was moving, yeah. So it's after yards gained, so it's not 1st and 20, it'd be 1st and 10. So that moves the ball. They're going to be scrimmaging from their own 50-yard line. Minute 5 to go. 22-17 lead. Pretty good action here on BCFC TV, powered by Remax. Junior football, some of the best football played in all of Canada. Very unique game to Canada. There's no other league in the world like this one. Campbell again. Just up the middle. Get what you can. Brody Taylor there on the tackle. Quentin Bowles in on the tackle on that one. But he picked up about 3 yards, but again, clock's in their favor. 2nd down, a minute to go. The clock will be rolling.
When you leave the stadium, please put your garbage and receptacles located at the bottom of the grandstand.
Yeah, again, like I said, it's a big win for the Rebels. It's they've gone 4 games in a row now. After being beat 23 straight games, this is their 4th time they haven't lost to the to the Raiders. And a big game to keep them close to the Okanagan Sun. There's a penalty line. That's time count violation against the Rebels. That'll be a 10-yard penalty and bring up automatic 3rd down. With 39.3 seconds to go. And for the Raiders, this loss will drop them into 4th place from 3rd. They'll be a point behind the Langley Rams. So from here on out, all 4 teams, the Sun, the Rebels, Rams, and Raiders that's your playoff teams. We just have to figure out who's finishing where, who's going to be hosting the playoffs. The champion of the BCFC this year travels to the champion of the Prairies for the CJFL semifinal game, and the winner of that game will be playing on November 10th somewhere in Ontario to the Ontario champion. Windsor AKO defeated the Hamilton Hurricanes today to take over top spot in the OFC, and Windsor's got a pretty good football team, so they could be the Canadian Championship game being played in Windsor. Kent Hicks punting, 39.3 seconds to go. Mayo deep, just a high spiraling kick, driving Mayo to his sideline. Drops the ball at about his 16-yard line and rolls out of bounds. Yeah, it's kind of a fitting way it went for the Raiders here in the second half. But they do have 32.5 seconds, and they have the football. And junior football is one of those things you never predict because you never know what's going to happen. You're never sure what kid's going to show up to be the star of the game. But I would think you're going to see the Rebels having a whole bunch of eyeballs all over Bryson Mayo. As they break the huddle, the Bird is going to be in shotgun. He's going to have Rhett Williams behind him. He's got 4 receivers to his right and Mayo to his left. Rebels are playing 2 deep. Womack and Lowe's playing deep. And they're taking any of that deep stuff away. Give them the shorties. That was incomplete pass to Mayo with a flag down on the interference penalty. So that's going to move the ball up 15 yards. I would suspect that's what the penalty is with that flag from thrown from that official.
28.5 seconds.
So that moves the play up 15.
First time ever.
And that'll put the ball at the approximately the 32-yard line.
32 in Nanaimo.
With still 28.5 seconds to go. The game's not over, but it's a large, hard hill, and the field right now is tilted towards the Raiders. It's an uphill climb for sure. LeBurge in shotgun, 4 receivers to his right, 1 receiver to his left. Again, looking down the middle, good pressure. And number 6, Kent Hicks comes in. Kent Hicks, the leading sack master on the Rebels, gets his 6th sack of the season. That was an important sack because the clock will go on the official signal unless they call a timeout. The Raiders have called their final timeout. So that gives it'll be second down and about 17. Ball's at the Raiders' 25-yard line. That was good, just a bull rush by Kent. Just get in the backfield. LeBurge held on the ball too long, but it was good coverage downfield with the Rebels playing too deep. They're taking away the deep throws, and the Raiders need those deep throws because the clock's not in their favor. And you hold on the ball too long, at some point you're going to give something up, and they just gave up the little stunt inside by number 6, and he was able to get his sack. He's leading point getter defensively for the Rebels as well, coming into this game. All the fans here, they're singing their song. I think they figure it's over. But as you know, it's never over until the official waves that red flag above his head. So second down to 17. You've got any trick plays? Might be time for a trick play here. You got to have success on this one. You want to give yourself, if you don't get a first down, you want to give yourself a good manageable third down so you keep the clock in your favor as well as the play. I think he's going to run out of time here. Threw that one up, and Womack made his second interception of the game. That ends it with 11.2 seconds to go. Yeah, LeBurge just ran out of real estate there after he took the snap. The Rebels were across the line pretty quick, and he's obviously looking for the deep throw. And they just got Duran got in the backfield. Larson was in the backfield. Kent Hicks is coming here, number 6. And you just have to throw it up as far as you can, just to hope somebody's open. And he tried it, and Womack was in position. Similar to what happened when Womack picked the one off when he had it thrown at the Bryson Mayo early in the third quarter. That's right, it was the third quarter. So 11.2 seconds to go. This is a Rebel victory. It's kneel down twice here to make it work. They're just in victory formation. They're going to roll the clock down to 0. It is right now. This will be the final play of the football game. Referee blows his whistle, raises the flag over his head. So there you have it. Rebels victory, 22-17 over the Raiders. Again, the Raiders, with the loss, drop into 4th place. The Rebels maintain their hold on 2nd place. Pretty well guarantees them, I think, a 2nd place finish. Until the Sun come to town and defeat them. But I don't think anybody can catch those top 2 teams. And now it's between the Raiders and the Rams. The Rams do make a visit to Vancouver, up into Nanaimo, I think, in 2 weeks. So that'll be an interesting match, and that could decide 3rd place. But I think whoever finishes in 3rd and 4th are going to have a difficult time finding their way through both the Raiders the Rebels and the Sun. They got 2 quality teams. Again, on behalf of the BCFC and Tyler McLaren, who had some duties to do as BCFC Vice President due to the little thing we had going on in the first half. He carried the first half as play-by-play, and I want to thank Tyler, and I want to thank all the cameramen and everybody. Again, your final score here from West Hill Stadium in Langford, the Westshore Rebels 22, Vancouver Island Raiders 17. On behalf of the BCFC, thank you very much for tuning in on BCFC TV, powered by Remax. Thank you. Good night.
DJ Chazzy, always give me a tough assignment.
TELUS presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, crystal clear video chats. Ah, I see you're catching up with your brother, Jerry. Ooh, yikes. Look at the quality of that video chat. Did you know the upload and download speeds of pure fiber make chats so clear it would be like your brothers in the same room? TELUS Pure Fiber. Video chats reimagined.